Well, hey, good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Nearest stream. I'm Nearest. Tonight we're going to be playing some Disco Elysium. Yeah, so we got this weird, like, balanced-ish stat run. Basically, when we started the game, I put 3s on everything, which I'll show you in a sec. Yeah, so 3 across the board. Everything's the same. Obviously, as we played the game, I mean, we're on day 3 now. Wow, I've been going slow. Kind of. Slow but efficient. It's kind of spread out a little bit more over time, but yeah. We balanced as fuck. Ish. Perception's high. Perception always wants to be high, though. Anyway, yeah, so as this shows, it's the end of day 3. Basically, I just kind of punted on this day. We've got a lot done. I mean, at the time, it's like, well, either I could go deal with the speed freaks, or that's about it. I guess I kind of thought about this later, but I could have gone and talked to Everett Clare and probably dealt with the gun today, but I didn't. We'll have to pick that up some other time. Oh yeah, I guess we can show that as well. So I went basically full moralist on this one. I started off going full boring cop, but then the boring cop thought was terrible, so I switched to sorry cop, which is actually decent. There's a rigorous self-critique. Where are you? Yeah, basically, if you fail a red check, you heal. It's like not ideal, but it's fine. So I don't know if we still have the thoughts in our queue here. So yeah, I did learn this one. We don't remember it. It was basically, it raises your I think it raised basically all of your stat caps to 3. I'm like, well, that's what all of them are already, so it's kind of not worth anything. So yeah, I mean, it's 9:50 right now. Harry can stay up till 2. So let's read some stuff. Oh, I see. I think I read that already.
The note is written with a blue pencil on a piece of lined office paper. The kitchen magnets have left spots on its surface.
Read that. Medicinal purposes of the pail. Okay, we haven't read that. We haven't read Dick Mullen yet.
The library card is folded into 2 and still slightly wet to the touch. The front side reads, Central Jamrock Public Library Card, issued to Billy Mejean, expires July 53.
Put it away.
You hold in
I haven't read this yet.
The colorful primer. The title reads, A Primer for Small Kids. There's a bear involved.
Exactly what I need. Flip through the pages.
This book will show you the score. Get you oriented with those basic concepts you appear to be hazy on. The anthropomorphic bear will give you the lowdown of your life.
On what?
The alphabet.
Ah, okay.
Every page has one word designating one letter of the alphabet with a faded illustration. Most of them are scientific and cultural principles. It goes as follows.
Let's do this.
A is for azimuth. B is for Boreas. C is for cosine. D is for diamite. E is for ellipse. F is for phlogiston. G is for gamete. H is for homeboy. I is for econ. J is for Eura. K is for collapse. L is for laudanum. M is for myriad. N is for nadir. O is for aureole. P is for perihelion.
Nod stoically.
Q is for quasar. R is for rhododendron. S is for sinus. T is for tricolor. U is for ultra. V is for vector. W is for Wahrheit. X is for xylophone. Y
The X
is for
cop-out.
Ustava. Z is for zenith.
That's it?
That's it. You know the alphabet now.
Well, cool. I know the alphabet. Hooray.
The porter reel is just what you needed. The reels attach to the...
Okay, we listened to the Door Gunner Mega Mix
The
already.
porter reel is just
We read that.
the face of
yeah.
King...
Trying to kill some time. Guess it's the greatest. I think we read the Cockatoo book as well, so we're really just down to the Greatest Innocence, Dick Mullen, and Medicinal Purposes of the Pale. I guess we also have some stuff on the ledger.
A cockatoo is a parrot with an
Oops.
erectile crest. Found. This book talks about the...
Yeah, I read that already. I don't mind not being at full morale all the time. I have a thought or two that let me heal in certain circumstances. Yeah, moralist dialogue options heal 1 morale, for instance. Let's read Dick
Medicinal
Mullen. Never mind.
Purposes of the Pale. The cover of this heavy tome features a number of esoteric symbols. Flipping through the book, you find a number of sections on the general benefits of the Pale. A large pharmacopoeia makes up nearly half of the book.
What's a pharmacopoeia?
You come across the following explanation. While modern pharmacopoeia are continually updated by so-called experts based on the results of clinical trials, readers will find assembled here the timeless wisdom relied upon by generations of traditional Seolite medicine practitioners, Mesk mystics, and Ilmaran folk doctors.
Well, they can't possibly all be wrong.
It's all quackery, in other words.
Yeah. Ooh, what's this passive? It is 10. Okay, we rolled an 11. Cool.
Finally, something to calm the angry spirits that have been plaguing you. It seems to contain descriptions of the medicinal properties of various ingredients that may be gathered from the Pale, as well as instructions for producing a variety of herbal remedies.
Is there anything there about restoring lost memories? I just want something that'll soothe the relentless torment of my existence. Anything about curing an apocalyptic hangover?
There are a number of Seolite tonics that promise to improve your short-term memory, but nothing that speaks to your condition.
Okay.
What you're describing is booze. You don't need any herbs for that.
Lame.
There's nothing in here that speaks to hangovers directly. However, while browsing through the various descriptions, you become convinced that you could assemble something from the ingredients listed here. Want to give it a shot?
Hell yeah, let's do it.
First, you need to choose a base ingredient.
Let's go, ginger root.
Next, you'll need to combine the base ingredient with an appropriate vehicle.
Let's see, mix with a dram of whiskey, boil it with tea from birch bark, mash it into a paste with some aloe vera extract.
Lastly, is there anything else you'd like to add?
Let's go wild ginseng root.
The ginger and aloe vera make this poultice ideal for the treatment of arthritis.
Oh no.
It won't do anything for your hangover though. Be that as it may, it might have been useful to have such a thing for the trials you'll soon be facing. It's a shame you can't get your hands on these ingredients. Would you like to try again?
Hell yeah.
Very well. First, choose a base ingredient. Next, you'll need to combine the base ingredient with an appropriate vehicle. Lastly, is there anything else you'd like to add? You've created a delicious tincture of whiskey and ginger. According to the pharmacopoeia, it should increase your energy and focus, though, in your experience, it's only done the opposite.
Come on, electrochemistry, bail me out.
Would you like to try again? Very well. First, choose a base ingredient. Next, you'll need to combine the base ingredient with an appropriate vehicle. Lastly, is there anything else? You've created a delicious tincture. Would you like to try again? You close the book and find yourself staring at the familiar cover once more. Very well. First, choose a base ingredient. Next, lastly, you've created would you like to? Very well. Next, lastly, is there anything you've created a delicious? Would you like to try again? Very well. Next, you'll need to combine the lastly, is there any you've created a would you like? Very well. Next, you'll need to lastly, you've created a would you like to? Very well. Next, you'll need to combine the base ingredient with an appropriate lastly, you've created a would you like to try? You close the book.
All right, that's enough of that. Let's listen to one case file.
It's the ledger you found in the trash. A cabbage of papers hanging from the board, with the permeables drawer inside. It's barely held together by a clip, then made complete by the faint smell of urinal cleaner. Oh, and an incredibly cool piece of kitchen tissue is stuck to the back. Without resistance or sound, the two panels move against each other. The compartment is now
I gotta sneeze. Hold up a minute.
Inside, you see 2 ticket stubs and a handmade postcard.
All right.
It's slightly, ever so slightly, difficult to breathe once you've done so. The drawer is locked. Blue ink drips from the white pages in your hand. Arson, petty theft, spousal abuse. Handwritten logs on dozens of investigations date back to January 51. Stamped case files, commit to paper. These are your last couple of months in Revachol. Yes, it appears you employ a, shall we say, robust yet literary system. Each investigation has its case number written on the margins. Yet, still more tellingly, most are accompanied by a name. A title, one might say even. One that draws inspiration from snoop fiction and vespertine cop show staples.
I mind they're written in capital letters
Yes,
too.
all caps. One is called The Next World Mural. Another, The Square Bullet Hole Murders. Another yet, The Unsolvable Case. Others appear more light-hearted. The guys on a couch in an unexpected location, and the murder at the Ukar parlor. Even the rare article-free collapsing tenement. Murder features prominently throughout. It's going to take an effort to piece these case files together, but it can be done. Once you're done inspecting them up close, you don't exactly close them, so much as distance yourself from the smelly papers. They're a little further from your nose now. It takes about half an hour to piece one together, using the system you've devised. Which one do you want?
Let's do the couch in an unexpected location. We can probably do one. Yeah, we'll be able to do
Some
one.
assholes
Maybe two.
brought their couch outside and hung out on it. In the middle of the street, on the roof, on the hillside by the motorway. You know, at an unexpected location. They were young, and they thought they looked cool on it.
They actually look like assholes. They looked really cool like models. They look really cool like a rock band.
Insufferable dicks. Young people are the
Yeah,
worst.
fuck young people.
So
I mean, hey
anyway,
guys.
You got a complaint about the damn sofa, or couch, or whatever it is. They were leaving it out in all these unexpected and whimsical locations. They took it to where they also took photos of themselves on it, and smoked cigarettes, and drank coffee because they felt it's intellectual. Cigarette butts, coffee cups, stupid couch. You had to clean it all up, and you did. So congratulations to you. Case solved.
Did I ever catch those guys?
No, you didn't have time for that. These notes show that you have what is called a real goddamn job. You don't have time to be chasing down the couch assholes. You have a real job to do. What next?
I can revisit this.
Not much has changed in the meanwhile. A bunch of sodden papers still sags from the clipboard. Date of birth generated.
How old am I?
You were born in the year 07,
46. All right.
in the last year
44.
of the commune of Revachol, right before it fell, in the old military hospital on the ground floor, where people usually came to die during a snowstorm. The revolution had about 1 year left to go, and the fires were still burning bright. There were explosions in the blizzard. This was 44 years ago. You are 44 years old. The bloating might never leave your face, but beneath it, you still have some years. You still have some hope.
Learning cap for logic raised to 4. Okay, that's not great. -1 difficulty to all physique passives. Okay. The learning cap for logic increased to 4. I guess it did gain me 1 there. Maybe. Unless I got something else with logic. Well, logic +1. Logic to 5, so yeah, no. So we're at 6 on logic right now. And it's at 7 now. Okay, so I guess it did increase it by 1. Shrug. That's kind of how I feel about that one. Let's go Elysium. Alright, let's go ahead and get this thought in the books. And this is data birth generator. Stat cap change logic to 4. -1. Yeah, this one's not spectacular. I'm not gonna lie. Like, it might be okay, but I don't know. It's kind of hard to tell how okay it is. So this might be a target to swap out from later on if I get something better. But now we know he's 44. So yeah, Lawjaw is also kind of like, So honestly, White Morning's kind of I have a lot of ones right now. Volumetric shake compressors, probably worse. That's probably going to be the first one out. It always is. I don't have Hobocop this time. Get the alcohol. Don't worry, man. I've got the alcohol. I got it right here. Look. We have Commodore Red and Potent Pilsner. We're good. So that's some Prolodon. We got some amphetamines. Wait, that's not amphetamines. Wait, did I use all my speed notes over there? Ooh, lots of speed. Nice.
The bed is comforting, if a bit run down. Still, you've earned a rest.
Time to go eat.
Across the room, the heating system hums its soft lullaby. The mattress feels soft and sheets warm. It only takes you moments for the world to fall away.
Thoughts, baby. A million little lights in the dark. You're one fine instrument, brother. All those faces and all those names. All that laughter and screaming and scheming around. Every corner and every street. Recorded in you forever.
Spinning in eternity.
Faraday.
Spinning on empty. Spinning, spinning. Tell me, am I dreaming?
On and on it goes, for untold hours. at the disco where you first asked her to dance. Rising, rising, above the dark curvature, the great wingspan of sleep, studded with stars. Behold, there are millions of them down there. The first time, the last time, the smoke in her mouth, the plotted flowers, the faces turning, changing.
What is it?
It's the world, Harry boy, and you're made of it. Every day you're out there, you make more of yourself from it. I'm afraid you can't be unmade now. You can never forget this shit.
The colors of voices, the rain, the snow. I don't want to, it's beautiful. The endless visions erase them.
Beautiful. It's stuck on loop, whirling, spitting out words and images. You're the son of the world again. Harrister, a ceaseless agent, picking up litter and old newspapers, collecting your little bubblegum wrappers and idiotic picture postcards. Meaningless, meaningless keepsakes. Reading your awful letters and recalling things, aren't you? The endless names of the world. An address book you are. The map of a city.
That's right, I am an agent of the world, but what if I don't want to be the agent of nothing?
You'll go insane if you keep
Too
going
late.
like this. One more day, and you'll be in the loony bin. I just know you will. And for what, brother man?
For the working class. For the greater good.
Solving your little crossword puzzles. Doing your tasks. Crossing names off lists. Trying to become some sort of world detector. It won't make it okay. It won't put smoke back in her mouth.
Oh, hold on. We have two options ahead of us. We can go communism, or we can go moralism. I've done communist already, so let's do some measured, steady progress.
There he goes again. He's a real political animal, our Harry. He still doesn't see that it's the world changing around.
I think I already
him.
rejected the ultra-liberal thought, so that's probably why they didn't show up here. And yeah, fuck fascism.
He's got no idea what he's in for.
Feel the pillow under your cheek.
Beep, beep, beep. The alarm is ringing, Harry. The disco circus goes on and on. You barely slept 3 hours last night.
You can do it. It's nothing. Do it for the city. Go.
Thanks, Volition.
Do it for the wind.
Ooh. I still need to boost Shivers a little bit more.
Good. You're up.
Okay, so empathy is
There's something that's been bothering you for a few days now.
our moralist contact. Got it. What is it?
It's a suspicion, or a feeling really, that things are not quite in hand around here. Every day, things seem to spin more and more wildly, out of control. The center isn't holding. And despite your efforts to moderate and contain these energies, things only seem to be getting worse.
Let's get right to it. What needs to be done? Wait, I thought things are going pretty well.
Oh, sure. You've been making progress on your case, interviewing people, solving side tasks.
Yeah, side tasks.
But who's focusing on the big questions?
I assume the most qualified and highly credentialed people are taking care of that stuff. It doesn't really sound like my job. What am I supposed to do?
But have you ever seen them? How do you know they're even there? More importantly, How do you know they aren't waiting for your participation?
What am I supposed to do?
You've got to find out who bears la responsabilité.
What exactly is la responsabilité? I thought I was assigning responsibility for the murder. Alright, I'll give it to me. I'll accept responsibility.
The most awesome, terrible thing. It is human nature to crave la responsabilité and to deny it. That's why it must be distributed across many different organizations, agencies, offices, and portfolios. Harry, you're thinking about this too narrowly. La responsabilité isn't concerned with trivial questions like who killed who. It's about the real issues. The human welfare index, the price of staple goods, the transition to real democracy.
Alright, give it to me. I'll accept responsibility.
Whoa. This isn't some kind of dictatorship. You can't simply seize la responsabilité for yourself. It must be given by a legitimate authority, like a committee.
Do we have time for all this? Of course, we have time for anything, Harry. We're fine. Who should sit on this committee? It sounds like too much responsibility for me. I don't want it.
There's always time to follow best practices. Once someone's decided to cut corners for the sake of expediency, who knows what else they're capable of?
Alright.
Swift, decisive action. Mass executions.
Whoa, Half-Light. Take it easy.
A little self-dealing. Fun stuff. That's what they're capable of.
Alright. Who's
Only
joining us?
the most even-keeled minds
Oh, shit.
in Martinez.
Why did I turn on the hockey game? This was a mistake.
Your half-brother, the lieutenant, is a natural place to start. Together, you'll be able to discover who has la responsabilité in Rivershaw. And, if necessary, you'll have the wisdom and expertise to assign it among yourselves.
What happens once we've assigned the responsibility?
Most likely, your findings will be collected in a report, which will be carefully reviewed by your superiors. Once they've reviewed it, those same superiors will produce a set of recommendations to be taken up at the next meeting of the Standing Committee. Rest assured, no matter what happens, it will be done through the proper channels.
Alright, I'm prepared to take on this awesome burden.
Good luck. Your report is eagerly anticipated. An old mirror hangs on the wall. You see the reflection of your face in it. Adorned
With the expression. Alright. Take on la responsabilité. These are a mess. Someone really ought to do something about it. First, though, you and some other moralists should probably form a committee and decide whose job it is. Kim might know where to start, question mark. Kim! Kim! Good morning! Kim!
Yes?
Kim, we need to talk about responsibility.
I'm glad to hear it, Detective. I was wondering when we'd get to this very subject.
Good, we're on the same page then.
If you ask me, it's high time for you to...
Whoa, nobody said anything about putting the
Summarize.
bottle away.
Get back to basics. That would be my advice. And I hope we don't even need to discuss the street drugs you've been abusing.
Well, I'm not giving up drinking. It's what got me to where I am today. I can't give up street drugs now. I just got addicted to them. I'm going to skip those ones and just go straight to la responsabilité, you know? The kind that gets assigned.
Why are you pronouncing it like that gentleman from the Institute of Price Stabilité? You know what? Forget it. What specifically are you trying to assign responsibility for?
Point to the ground for the murder. Point to yourself for my disaster of a life. Spread your arms wide for this whole situation.
Now I understand.
Lieutenant nods his head gravely.
Next, I suppose you're going to tell me you need to form a committee to assign this responsibility.
Yes, exactly. How did you know?
Simple. Because moral intern types love to form committees. In any event, I am just a humble law official.
I may work under the Moral Intern's umbrella, but I'm certainly not qualified to serve on any committee. You know who might be, though? That Mr. Villedroit, the gentleman you met in the young man's apartment. If I were trying to get in touch with the Coalition, I would start by seeking him out. But first, you might need to speak with his young companion.
Ooh, he's so mysterious.
Now,
Yes, let's do that.
Was there anything else?
Nope. Okay, let's see. What should we do now? Should probably go back to talk to, go back and talk to Everard. Oh, the drunks aren't even here. I was thinking about giving them a beer for a story. But they are elsewhere right now. And this is not how you get down.
The scruffy-haired little boy kicks a stone while the other...
Yes.
Yes?
Yes.
That's it? You're being laconic about it?
It doesn't look like he knows what that means.
Scruffy-haired kid laughs. There's no agreement.
You're stupid.
Okay, how about the policeman asks you something else
Okay.
now? Bye. I wonder if Trant's here. Probably. I know, I'm just stalling. Whatever. He is. Did I buy the last slot already? I did not.
You see a once bright mural towering above you. The signage has peeled off over the years, but you can still make out Feld Electrical R&D. A slogan used to intertwine with the loops a long time ago. Now, only a shadow of peeled letters remains. It says, "Tomorrow is just a whisper away."
Hello.
And Mikhail noticed the windows, especially with how there are no windows on the south side. This was to deal with.
A blind man stands next to his son, pointing to the weather-worn ruins. He sees you approaching and smiles.
You officers, come to investigate the historic subtext of West Martinez? I'm Tran Heilostam. You must be Kim Kisuragi, right? I was just telling my son about this building. Not a lot of people realize the historic significance here. Very rich in hypertext.
Nice to meet you.
Lieutenant nods. Hold on. Hypertext? Wait, was that about the windows before you and Kim know each other?
Yes, hypertext. Young Carp and the collection of cultural hyperlinks.
He's just making up fancy words. This doesn't mean anything.
Oh yes, so Mikhail. They had to deal with monitor glare, especially in the summer. They still had vector monitors back then. That was 49 years ago. So they didn't have windows on the south wall.
You and Kim know each other?
No, I can't say that we've met before, but I've heard of Kim, of course. Mikhail, say hi to the officers.
He rests his hand on the boy's shoulder. The child stays hidden behind the hem of his father's coat, clutching to his Verm-themed coloring book.
Mikhail's a little tired today. We spent all night trying to run Orbis on his radio computer. Have you heard of it? It's a programming language used in Grad. Quite tricky, but he wanted to play this Grad-made adventure program. We've been getting really into Verms lately.
Verm.
The man speaks in the artificial cadence of a professor, or someone who's been on too many radio shows.
But I assume you're not here for giant Verms when there are so many real things to see. Just as I was telling Mikhail before, this is where the Coalition landed in '08. We could be standing on what is the most interesting landmark in Revachol West.
He points to the building again.
This man is your half-brother. You feel it. But why? Well, get a load of this guy. He really enjoys his trivia. The Orbis programming language was named after its inventor, Victor Orbis. a cybernetician from Grad. They run Vox in the Occidental countries.
What's so fascinating about an empty old building?
Aha!
Aha!
It's not just any empty old building.
Oops. He raises his hand to his eyes to shield himself from the freezing snow. All four of you turn to admire the building, or the mural before you.
What not a lot of people know is, this used to be the R&D department of Feld Electrical. And Feld, which now sells ink cartridges mostly, was once a top dog in the turn-of-the-century cybernetics boom.
Hold on. What's R&D?
Oh, no! Wait, what's an R&D department?
Apologies, it's an acronym for research and development. They don't use it anymore.
Recherche et développement. It says on the building, it's research and development. Anyway, he smiles brightly, laugh lines around his eyes.
You're probably more familiar with RTD, research and technological development.
Mea culpa. You are not familiar with that one either. This man is a bookhead.
Look at the building looming over you.
It looks old and weathered, with seagulls picking apart its stone and metal carcass. Bushy undergrowth has taken hold of the collapsed rooftop. Some kind of bird has set up a nest on a broken windowsill.
I don't think I've ever heard of this Feld Electrical.
That's not
Proceed.
surprising. Only a vestigial ink cartridge and ferrotape manufacturer remains.
He adjusts his suit jacket.
They started out as a midway electronics outfit in Königstein 2 centuries ago. After an aggressive move to Revachol, Feld became a global player in the emerging personal electronics market of the pre-revolutionary era. Still, Tricentennial was beating them in business machines. But Feld had an ace up their sleeve, or should I say they were developing an ace up their sleeve? I'm mixing my metaphors here.
What was that ace?
It was here in Martinez, possibly in this very building, that they developed prototypes for a tape computer.
A tape computer?
An elegant folding mechanism of rollers and ferrotape ribbons, portable enough to be a take-it-home solution. Revolutionizing business machines, possibly even bring them to the average consumer. Which is a feat of engineering even today's giants, Rein, ICN and ZAM, haven't achieved yet.
He grins, admiring the sentence he just produced. It's interesting that they've been, like, this society has had electronics for hundreds of years, but they still haven't developed the microchip. What happened?
Indeed. What?
The revolution!
Whoa! The boy wipes his nose on his sleeve.
Unfortunately, their moonshot project never made it to the market. Feld's move to Revachol backfired. The revolutionary government liquefied their assets and expropriated those very advanced prototypes. Possibly from this very building, or one of the adjacent ruins.
Pauses, pointing to the other building, then continues.
All of this was built by Feld, even the boardwalk. Wild Pines built Martinez proper as a resort for their middle management. Feld built this side of town for R&D.
You're saying that Feld built this boardwalk? Look under your feet.
Yes, they even built a pleasure wheel, but that got destroyed in the war.
A pleasure wheel?
Lieutenant looks wistfully at the horizon, as if picturing gondolas rising to the sky.
Perhaps reminded of a childhood memory. It's clear he would prefer there were a big wheel lighting up the coast.
Empathy is 4. Okay.
Yes, to lure in their star engineers. This part of Martinez was nothing but reeds before Feld arrived. They had to make the prospect of living here attractive. It was supposed to become a global center for innovation in cybernetics. But history had other plans.
What happened to the engineers, the company people?
Oh, I'm afraid it didn't end well for the boys. But this story is a bit too dark for little Mikhail here. Now, if you were to ask about tape computers...
Alright, let's ask about tape computers.
They used them for military communications, but also to write and send out press releases. The most notorious example being Le Décret de Mars.
What was that?
What's the Mars Decree? I mean the radio transmission sent out to news agencies and world governments by the newly created Commune of Revachol on the 7th of March in the year 02.
A short-lived legislative foundation for a short-lived utopia.
It's a beautiful piece of text, actually. A singer-songwriter I know, Charette, called it a love poem to Revachol on her political concept album Bombecer dans le Lind. You should read it. Every local library in Revachol stocks a copy of the decree. I tried to get Mikhail to memorize it. Tried to. Someone was much too interested in worms to be paying any attention.
The kid takes a peek at the green and silver worm on the cover of the book, already forgetting about this part of the discussion.
Worms are pretty cool. Way cooler than whatever we're talking about. How do the tape computers work? Do they work like radio computers?
Actually, no one knows. No one even knows what a computer made entirely of tape would look like. But word has it, they were very elegant, exquisite, alien-looking turn-of-the-century hardware.
He raises his finger, remembering something.
Buckle up.
Buckle up!
10 years ago, I did a little freelancing, I guess you could say. I was a special consultant for an exhibition at the Womty Dumpty Dum Center in Vredefort, Oranje. It raised the same questions, and we had lengthy discussions with Paul Ockerman, who was head curator at the time. This was before the twins Keith and Guy Jews joined the team, trying to...
Wait, did he just say Wumpty Dumpty Dum Center? He did it. He said Wumpty Dumpty Dum Center, like it's the most natural thing in the world. What the hell is a Wumpty Dumpty Dum Center? And who the hell are Keith and Guy Juiced?
I like how that's a success for Encyclopedia. Like, what is this stuff? Usually Encyclopedia tells you. Okay, the Wumpty Dumpty Dom Center, Paul Ackerman, Keith and Guy Juiced. What are you talking about?
The Womty Dumpty Dum Center for Contemporary Arts. The exhibition itself drew on Lagerman's notion of memory, and so there were some parallels. That's why the head curator, Paul Ackerman, chose to...
You're making this up. Kim, is he making this up?
In fact, I'm not.
Hey, you're not Kim.
The Dumpty Dum Center is a place you can visit if you're ever in Vredefort and are ever in the market for an exhibition space / contemporary art research center. But perhaps I should return to the tape computers.
No. We need to keep talking about the Womty Dumpty Dom
The device
Center.
itself was very elegant, fragile even. One could write directly on the tape using a special chemical solution. The machine would then analyze the handwriting, perform operations, and project output onto a white screen. It was a beautiful, delicate thing.
Made of black film and folding tape structures.
Cool. I've seen cooler things than that. The RCM should get some of those.
Very, very cool. Though I understand the socio-economic causes of the revolution, it pains me to imagine the revolutionaries setting fire to this precious device. But so they did. The felt playback experiment vanished into the fires of '07.
Wait, the Feld playback experiment?
Yes, the official name of the prototype. Some sources report it as the Feld playback experience, but those are incorrect.
Or the revolutionaries destroy it?
Who knows? Maybe it was an accident, or maybe they didn't want the technology to end up in the wrong hands. Either way, they're all gone now. All 3 versions of the prototype. Nothing but debris and ashes remain inside that building.
Takes a step back. The boardwalk creaks mournfully in the wind. Want to ask something else?
But of course. What else? Sure. What's on your... But of course. What else?
Smiles and ruffles his kid's hair. You look like someone who has money. Do you have any money?
I do have some money, yes, but that's not what's really important here.
Brushes it off like it's not a thing. Could I have some of that unimportant money then? I don't want your money. I just wanted to see if my profiling skills are working.
Oh no, I don't have it on me, officer. I was talking in more general terms.
He looks uncomfortable, his left hand squeezing his son's
I'm
shoulder.
just spending time with my kid here, showing him around the lesser-known parts of our hometown. It wouldn't be wise to carry huge amounts of cash on such expeditions.
Not that he would have to worry about being robbed. He looks surprisingly buff. Does he work out?
By the way, do you work out?
I do some Lomantang stick fighting now and then.
Ooh, come on, Encyclopedia, don't let me down.
Lo Mantang
Yeah.
stick fighting is a form of martial arts originating from the island of Lo Mantang. It uses slender wooden sticks for confronting the opponent.
Form of martial arts from the Isle of Lomontang, right? It's basically fighting with collie sticks, yay. Not really interested in the practice. I want to know how often you work out. Now and then, what, like, that's what, like, once a week?
Actually, a great many cultures have their own version of stick fighting, such as the sacred Mabolo tradition of the Harley people, a name deriving from the butterfruit tree traditionally used for crafting the long, slender sticks, whereas the sticks used in other cultures.
You doze off as he paints you a comprehensive picture of the history of stick fighting among mankind, seasoning it with unexpected pop culture references.
But anyway, I'm boring you with details again. You were saying?
I'm down for some details. I don't really remember what I was saying.
Lomantang stick fighting is a little like a Berolidin addiction. I've been practicing it for nearly 20 years now, so you could say that my doses have grown a little peculiar.
Wait, what does this man know about Pyrrolidon addiction?
Hold on, Pyrrolidon addiction? That's an interesting metaphor. Or perhaps not a metaphor at all. So what is it, twice a week then, every other day? Man, is it difficult to stay on the right topic with you? Yeah.
You got me, detective. But my history should hardly come as a surprise.
Dad's fighting with sticks every night after dinner for 4 hours. He has a special room for that.
Thanks,
And
Mikhail.
a special costume.
That's right, Mikhail. It also has a meditative quality. Helps to clear my head. But anyway.
He says, swaying with his hand. Alright, thank you for the interesting
No, thanks
information.
to you for having me and little Mikhail here to pick your brain. A very interesting conversation indeed.
I don't feel like I was doing much of the picking, but whatever. Yeah, we got another skill point. So the Wompty Dumpty Dom Center. It's Wednesday evening and something heinously exciting is underway. People have gathered beneath the billowing roof of an oddly shaped trophy building, sipping wine and exchanging opinions. 29-year-old Wunder twins, Guy and Keith Juiced are the stars of the show, with their bomber jackets and white sneakers, head curators of this art exhibition. It's the Wompty Dumpty Dommiest event of the year, and all the cool kids have RSVP'd. Where are you, if you're not there? I would like to get this one. I don't think I've gotten it before. Let's take a look at my spreadsheet. Let's just start at the beginning. Bow collector. Stations, Catholic Apocalypse, 15th Inner Tribe, Magnesium-based life form, overproductive honor glands, pure division, Curious World, Apricot Chewing Gum Scented one. Do I have that? I do. Ooh, good. Fairweather T500, Detective Cousteau, Searchlight Division, Inexplicable Feminist Agenda, nope, I have not gotten Wompty Dumpty Dom Center. Perhaps, but not right now. There's a more important one to get. Get that now, I guess. I really good should go talk to Everard at some point soonish. Fine, we'll do it now. Wait, whoa, there's a yellow dot. Let's talk to that instead. Got to get that experience in that 10 real cents. Looking back at you from the rust-colored water, you, featuring me. Oh, drunks are here now. Well, you know what? Idiot Doom Spiral.
Tequila Sunset.
He nods in appreciation. Okay, here's your jacket. Washed. Is that still open? Yes. Oh, I need to turn in this quest as well.
My jacket?
Yeah, it was pretty filthy, so I got it clean for you.
A look of consternation crosses the man's face. He looks at you, then at his bottle, then back at you.
What the fuck are you talking about, Tequila?
What the fuck are you talking about?
Rosemary, what the fuck is Tequila talking about?
Aye, that's the jacket you stole 2 weeks ago. From the kid who was making it with his gal on the beach.
That's disgusting. I've never done anything like that in my life. You're both delusional. Found. That's medium concept stuff.
It becomes abundantly clear to you how this man managed to lose his keys, business, friends, and girlfriend. I'm calling it. It's neurological.
You're lost. I'm keeping the jacket myself. I went through some dark shit to get this for you. Take the fucking jacket.
That shit is so medium concept, I wouldn't touch it with a stick. But yeah, okay. I'm sure it looks great on you.
It's an okay jacket, if you're into that look.
What's in a name?
Hey, Spiral Boy, you gonna share that?
What are the bumps interjects?
Shut up, guys. I'm telling a story here. Something happened to you. Something happened to me, too. My actual name is George. But around here, you already know. I was once a reasonably high... So you don't want to just hear the same story again? Okay. Okay. Huh.
He looks taken aback. Sorry for being a buzzkill lately. I'll supply the booze if you'll supply the stories.
Wonderful. Not much, but it will do.
And grabs a bottle from your hand and uncorks it immediately.
The tale I'm about to tell you is an urban legend particular to Martinez. That said, I first heard it from a former bicycle courier in Coran. There are many variations on the basic story, and the details often conflict. What everyone agrees on is that nobody knows the exact nature or identity of the phenomenon.
Are you telling the story of the headless...
I'm the one telling the story here.
Shut the fuck up, Rosemary. Summer of 44. 17-year-old Gertrude Het is walking home from a late shift at the harbor. It's almost midnight. She stops for a cigarette near the canal.
The streets are warmed by a southerly breeze. The lights of a passing motor carriage bloom and fade in the distance. In the harbor's dark, her cigarette is a beacon, dancing alone. The image comes to you effortlessly, as though you'd walked the same streets yourself 1,000 times.
See, this is why I like Shivers. Shivers is really cool.
Our heroine finds herself enjoying the peace and quiet the canal provides.
He looks off to the skies as if searching for peace himself.
What she doesn't know is that her peace is about to be shattered. From behind her comes the clattering of hooves. Startled, she turns around, and what does she see?
I don't know what, a horse? The giant of Coco Nur?
What? No, I told you this is a Martinez legend. It's a man.
You can always pick the most unhinged option. That's what I've learned from this game.
With no head on his shoulders, wearing a found tracksuit, searching for the legendary found cap that went missing when he lost his head.
Wait, I thought the headless fallen rider rode a bull. Show him the figurine. Whoa, that sounds pretty implausible to me. That's super spooky.
I thought that he rode a headless pig.
Lieutenant says with a little smirk.
Well, there are many versions of this story, the most peculiar of which has the headless found rider riding on the back of another headless man.
That's super spooky.
Yes. According to legend, young Gertrude Het had to endure years of psychotherapy before she was able to look at a horse or tracksuit again. And she's one of the lucky ones.
He takes a sip from his bottle.
Gertrude Het may have been the first to witness the headless found rider, but she wasn't the last. Oh no.
Tell him about the 2 feminists by the locks.
Fuck, Rosemary, they were dating. No one said they were feminists.
Goal!
Everyone
Yay.
always misremembering this stuff.
This wouldn't be the De Ponte Delgado case, would it?
What? You know it.
I read the case file. But please, go on.
Right. Early autumn of 46. Ula de Pont and Eva Delgado are fishing near the waterlock long after the sun has set. The wind picks up. A sky already dark now blackens. Water starts falling from above. The first cold rain of the season.
Two women stand on a small outcropping of rocks. One of them is wearing a purple raincoat. Thin lines reach out from the rods into the sea. Small droplets start appearing on the surface with increasing frequency.
The women are caught in the downpour. They act quickly. Eva gathers the rods whilst Ula turns around to reach for the tackle box.
Don't turn around. Don't turn around.
Huh? Oh no.
When she sees something, her shriek is so violent that the residents of the nearby apartment building believe lightning has struck. But there is no lightning. Only a heavy downpour and the silhouette of the headless Faun Rider looming on the horizon. Ula makes a run for the shore, but Eva slips on a wet rock and disappears into the cold, cold canal with nary a sound. Her body is never recovered.
What did the case file say? What happened to Ula de Ponte?
Word on the street is that she, you know,
He makes a finger pistol with his right hand and lifts it up to his chin.
gave herself facial deconstruction surgery. Real grisly stuff.
That part, at least more or less, corresponds to the case file.
See? Told you.
And it takes a long, self-satisfied sip. So we skipped the part where Kim basically said, like, oh yeah, no, she murdered her partner.
Anyway, that's the story of the headless Faun Rider. Pretty crazy, huh?
Who was a headless rider before he died?
Well, Tequila, that's part of the legend. No one knows for sure. There are a couple of possibilities, though. Some say he was an undercover cop who blew his cover and got beheaded by the vicious gang he had infiltrated. Now he rides, searching for his lost found cap, plotting revenge.
O headless brother, where art thou?
Others claim he was a professional jockey who veered off course during a steeplechase, ended up in somebody's backyard, and got decapitated by an exceptionally taut clothesline.
Even decapitation couldn't stop his commitment to the sport. Are you that committed?
Personally, I think he was just some guy who hanged himself from a really tall tree, and the fall was so violent that his head came clean off. Coincidentally, at that exact moment, a horse happened to pass under him, and his beheaded corpse mounted it, where it remains to this day. But then, no one really knows.
For some reason, this does strike you as the most plausible theory of them all.
Got a hunch that it was an undercover cop. I'd want revenge too. I bet he was the jockey. He seems super committed to his sport. I got to agree. Your theory sounds most plausible. None of these sound plausible, to be honest.
That explains the horse part for sure. Don't know why he'd be wearing a tracksuit, though. Seems like a stretch, if you ask me. Anyway, to each his own. You want to hear any other stories?
Hard to argue with that, I suppose.
That's the reality situation for you. You think you got a handle on it, then blam! It throws some wild shit at you. That's why it's critical to stay well hydrated.
It's nothing. I got an even crazier story.
Yeah? Why don't you go eat shit, Tequila? There's no way you know a better one than that.
What about the Koldamama Dakwa? It's a magical self-replicating sound. The Noma Jeroma dissolves its victims in acid. The giant of Kokonur is big as a mountain. It's the kind green ape. It's very kind. And green.
Giants? That the best you got? Give me a break, Tequila.
Hey, the
Yeah?
giant of Kokonur is cool.
Why don't you go eat shit, Tequila? Do you always try to pick the lamest option possible? Come on, Tequila. Yeah? Acid Gnomes? Sounds like a stupid, low-concept band name. Yeah? I have to admit, that's pretty high concept. Still not as awesome as a headless rider in a found tracksuit, though.
What became of the Headless Fallen Rider?
No one knows.
No one knows.
Some say he stalks Martinez to this day, and can be seen near the canal when the clock strikes midnight.
He makes a spooky gesture with his free hand.
He won't, though, because it's just a stupid legend.
Aye, I saw him one night when I was right shit-faced.
There.
Are you...
Shut the.
The street in the...
Our what she doesn't know is that her peace is about to be shattered. From being... Well, yes, but it's the man on the horse that's of interest here. With no head on his shoulders. Wearing a found tracksuit. Searching for the legendary found cap that went missing. When he
I want to see Kim's dialogue here.
Yes. According to legend, Gertrude Het may have been the first...
Tell him about the...
Fuck, Rose. What?
I read.
Right. The wind...
Two women.
The women...
Don't turn around.
When she's... But there... Ula make... Her body is never recovered.
What the case file say, Kim?
Naturally, Ula de Ponte became the prime suspect in the disappearance of Eva Delgado. De Ponte maintained that it was the so-called Headless Fallen Rider and that she ran, fearing for her life.
He adjusts his glasses.
During the investigation, it became apparent that there was a love triangle, the third party being some small-time businessman. I don't remember the exact details. The leading theory was that an argument broke out on the jetty, and De Ponte pushed Delgado into the canal, then cooked up this stupid cover story.
Was she arrested?
No. She committed suicide before she could be taken into custody. They found her in the bathroom with a rifle, her face slowly peeling off the ceiling. Not a pretty scene.
Nope.
Man, that's some grisly detail. Oh well. Here's to another case closed.
Takes a hearty swig from his bottle.
Anyway, that's the story. No.
He won't.
Aye, I saw him one night when I was right shit-faced.
Okay, let's step aside for a second. I have something I want to talk about.
Uh-oh. Alright, let's stepping aside. Get over here, Kim. I'm stepping aside. Alright, let's step aside over here then.
I've been meaning to have a little chat with you about your sense of style.
Style? What about it?
I'm glad you finally started dressing a little more like an officer of the RCM. Keep it up.
Let's review what he's wearing. Okay, so he's wearing some jeans that he found like on a clothesline or something like that, or in a dumpster. I can't remember. He's wearing some Franco-Nigerian cavalry boots that we found just randomly somewhere. With gardening gloves, bright yellow gardening gloves, his horrific necktie, the Man from Helmdall t-shirt. It's like a logo tee. He's wearing his froggy visor, and yes, he is wearing his police jacket. But that's one thing of like a whole bunch of stuff.
Your half-brother is proud to stand beside you.
Regular cop, regular clothes. You like this? I feel like it's really cramping my style. Say, why aren't you wearing a pig suit?
The lieutenant regards you for a moment, unsure whether you're making a joke or not, and if so, whether he should acknowledge it.
Right, detective. You are one regular cop. You know the expression, the clothes make the man? The right outfit in the right situation can make all the difference in the world.
Yes? Okay, you're a sharp-dressed man. We could be style buddies. I'm not taking style tips from someone who dresses like a mega bunaclard. I'm not taking style tips from someone who dresses like a washed-up tip-top racer.
Let's not get ahead of ourselves, detective.
Boo.
A warm smile.
Anyway, we should probably get back to the case. Let's go.
Oh well, we got some Kim points there. That's the big thing. So I keep talking about how I want to go talk to Everard. I'm going to go ahead and check the bug traps instead. Then I'll go talk to Everard. Honest. Get up there.
A familiar apparatus lies among the reeds, another one of Morel's traps, weighed down by stones to keep it in place. Behind you, a ruined residential building looms over the reeds, shielding them from the wind. They rustle confidentially, in tune with the pitter-patter of the rain. When this district was booming, the reeds were kept at bay. Nothing obscured the freshly painted facades. Nowhere for drunks and adventurous teenagers to hide. Now only the wind blows. This trap is also full of panicked locusts. No sign of any cryptozoological beast inside.
Another empty trap.
Hey, you weren't here for the first one, Kim. Let's keep on going. The next one's the lucky one. How are you enjoying the cardio, Lieutenant? I'm quite enjoying it myself. I want to make it clear that I don't actually believe the Phasmid exists, okay?
Always up for a good job. Otherwise, would I still be on this case with you?
Smiles and raises his collar. It's Wimdy.
This is the trap Morel just set. Checking it over, he said, is just a technicality.
It's been
But
like 12 hours.
the reeds by the abandoned campsite.
16
hiss
hours
and
since I
shake.
talked to them.
It's good the cryptozoologists left. This isn't a very cozy place to stay night after night. The later it gets, the colder. Remnants of the camp can still be seen in the sand. The fire that's gone out. You feel strange, somehow. Nothing but locusts in this trap as well. Definitely no cryptozoological monstrosity.
Empty as all of them. One more of these and we're done.
His face is red from the cold sea air. He crouches to catch his breath. Remember, it wasn't in here. Are you getting tired? I must stress, I did not expect a cryptozoological monstrosity to be in this trap. Say nothing and just put the trap down.
No, I'm fine. I didn't mean to complain. It's just...
He's short-winded. The sentence ends there. Also, yeah, goal. Also, if I run back to Everard rather than quick traveling, I guess if I quick travel, I'll end up there too, but I believe that Fuck the World and Pissaf are going to be hanging out by the car, so we can chat with them when we get back too. So those guys are a treat to talk to.
It takes you a moment, but finally you spot the last of Morel's traps. This one's partially obscured by the reeds. The reeds bend forlornly toward the sand. You see slabs of concrete north. In the east, the city center hums to you. The constant, distant song, louder on this part of the coast, nearer somehow. And there's that cold again. Always the cold. The trap feels light and silent as you pick it up. Something is different here.
Look closer.
No locust.
What?
No phasmid either. But still,
It's empty!
your voice echoes on the coast, carried by a gust of cold wind.
Look closer still.
Well, the bait worked on something. This doesn't mean it was a reed monster, though. Unless you see one in there. I just see an empty trap.
Oh, come on, Kim, don't be a party pooper. I know that's what he does.
The netting is a little untidy, messier than the others. Like someone or something picked up the trap and shook it before dropping it back down on the ground.
I get the feeling that someone or something may have messed with the trap. But what if it was the Phasmid? What if it ate them and got out? Yeah, it probably wasn't the Phasmid, but still, Moral needs to know. You're right. Need to tell the cryptozoologists about this. You're right. Crypto research has been stupid.
Perhaps our cryptozoologists have competition in the form of an actual entomologist, or someone else is sabotaging them. I could present more theories, but then I would be taking this on as a case, which I'm not.
Oh, that's what you think. Ha 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 ha.
We did sort of promise to tell them, didn't we?
He seems to regret the fact. Poor Kim. Having to put up with us. Yep, there they are. There they are. Do I need the car for anything right now? Yes. Yes, I do. Okay. I need to get Kuno to open up.
The purity of snow always reminds me of the purity of a man's soul, if he's got principles.
It is such a pleasure to see you again, officer. How may I head the citizens' militia on this fine day?
Do I have any composure clothes?
The purity of snow always reminds me of the purity of a man's soul, if he's got principles.
So we can get this up to like 30%. Put no points into that. That's fine. Alright. I'm going to go ahead and take some speed. Actually, that's going to help with my empathy check,
The
too.
purity of snow always reminds me of the purity of a man's soul, if he's got principles.
All you observe is a veteran refusing to let go of the past and his old uniform. This is not uncommon.
This is the uniform of the Royal Carabineers in service of Frissel I, Guillaume le Lion, and the valiant King Philip V before him.
Don't you mean Frissel the Fan?
You do not speak his name, Craven, although he was a clown. But he was our clown, ours to ridicule and to mourn.
There's something you missed. You will get to it. Don't worry.
Okay.
Hear that? Magnesium. That's what you're lacking. The lack of magnesium has you slouched.
Magnesium-based life form.
The magnesium levels in your blood are dangerously low. It's about the low magnesium.
This one's actually really good.
And not
but
the high alcohol levels.
Magnesium-based life form. +2 volition, -1 logic. Not bad. I feel like he knew it wasn't the alcohol or the other things. There's a lack of magnesium in me.
Yeah, the other things. Long live the other things. Made you strong as an ox, they have. Yes, and it's critical. Look at yourself. You're practically devolving into a fish due to the lack of magnesium in your bloodstream.
Need to mag it up.
You need to get so magged up. You've probably had 2 heart attacks and a minor stroke already. And the only prescription is insane amounts of magnesium. 1 stroke? Don't be so modest. He's having one right now.
You're saying I need to become a magnesium-based life form?
Yes. If you want to live, you need to evolve. You need to transcend the carbon barrier. Go to the apothecary and buy insane amounts of magnesium. It will reverse the damage to your circulatory system. Just remember, it's not the alcohol. Buy more of that too. Alcohol is not the problem. And it's certainly not the dextroamphetamine, nor smoking for 40 years. It's the lack of magnesium and excess of coffee. You should stop drinking coffee. It wreaks havoc on your gastrointestinal system.
I feel like electrochemistry would be pro-coffee. Just a thought. Okay, let's look at magnesium-based life form. Shivers? No, I don't want to lose shivers. Boo. It's generally understood that human beings are carbon-based organisms, fusing little carbon tubes together to form complex, mushy structures capable of thought, love, and locomotion. It's also known that these structures sometimes like to take the edge off by consuming ethanol, amphetamine, etc. In such cases, it is important to supplement your body with magnesium. Tired? Mag it down. Or mag it down? Mag time. Liver damage? Maximum mag! Some people say magnesium doesn't really do anything and you just need to quit. What do we tell them? We tell them I'm probably not going to take that skill, but it is kind of useful. Alright, let's go talk to the cigarette smoking man.
Hi again, Gendarme.
He's so different.
It's the
God damn it.
sports. He's a sports guy, all about that physical prowess and athletic skill. Nothing else here.
Need to talk with your Sunday friend again. It's about committee business.
Oh, a committee. How interesting. And if I may ask, Gendarme, what is this committee about?
He takes a measured drag of his cigarette. I'm not really sure. I'm just trying to reach a higher authority. It's about assigning la responsabilité. Not really at liberty to say.
God, of course it is. My friend is always trying to convince me I need a little more responsibility. As though I don't have enough going on already. In any case, I would love to help. But the thing is, I don't know where he is. We don't talk about everything, you see.
He gently taps the end of the cigarette with his forefinger.
He might have mentioned something about making a tour of some historical sites up the coast. In an unofficial capacity, of course.
You know when he'll be back? I guess I'll have to look for him along the coast.
Not a clue. I'm not his agenda keeper, you see. I guess you will. Bye-bye, Gendarme.
Alright, I'm going to dump a point into composure. We just failed 2, so why not? I'm also going to unequip this methamphetamine before I accidentally use some more. What a game. I don't want to accidentally use meth, so I have to
Hi
unequip
again,
it.
Gendarme.
Could he be a member of the...
Why didn't I roll that last time?
homosexual
Whatever.
Underground? Yes, this man is definitely one of the homos. I've seen them homos with my own eyes.
Calm down, physical instrument.
This sexual thing seems interesting. Ask around. Become involved.
I get a lot of electrochemistry. I know some of those are scripted, but still. Don't have a lot of points in electrochemistry. Oh, Shivers. I need to put some points in Shivers. Shivers is cool.
Just pointing it out. We're not talking about some kind of cult with members here. You made it up.
Are you part of the homosexual underground?
The homosexual underground?
The smoker sits up immediately, his eyes wide with amused surprise. A honeyed smile lingers on his lips.
Why, yes, I am, officer. Why? Do you want to investigate?
Yes, I want to hear more about this homosexual underground you're part of. No, I just wanted to know whether you were one of them.
Oh, it's a pleasure group. A sub rosa pleasure group congregating in cellars under the cover of night. Saturday night. Sometimes even Friday night.
What about Thursday night?
Or Thursday night.
I know he's just
Sometimes
making
the
fun of him, but
congregating
still.
doesn't even end. It carries on into our daily life.
But why do you convene? What do you do?
Oh, we're ambitious. We want to destroy the last vestiges of meaning, the last things people in Revachol have to hold on to, the true symbols of security. The meaning of man and woman, mother and father, their marriage. Everything will be constantly shifting and moving under our rule. The future will belong to a circus of identities just spinning around, surreal and unreal. You won't even know who you are anymore.
But I like knowing who I am. That's a lie. He doesn't know who he is. Does it have anything to do with disco?
But do you also like the razzle-dazzle of gold? Do you like parties and discos and having fun under the vibrant lights of Saturday night? Because instead of the traditional family unit, we're going to have all this razzmatazz. And mysteries, of course, too. Mysteries of sexual nature, very esoteric. And disco music and drugs.
Ooh, disco music and drugs. I do like disco. Maybe I should get into it.
You can't just get into it. You have to be born into it. One is either already in the homosexual movement or forever excluded from it.
Can I be an ally? What if I can't remember whether I am in or not? What if I can't remember anything about my life aside from the fact that I like disco?
Beautiful. Beautiful. That's exactly what we're looking for. Who knows? Maybe you were homosexual in the past. Maybe all of that has been repressed.
He circles his hands around you.
I have to say that you do look like someone who might be part of the underground. You have that very distinctive, I can't understand what's going on here look.
Okay, blink. Okay, I have to think about it. This is going to be like a 24-hour mind project for me. 20 hours at least.
Absolutely wonderful.
A man like you can figure out his sexuality in a working day. It won't be 20 hours unless you want to enter the heightened realms of the phantasme erotique afterwards. It may be 20 hours or more, but that would be on your own time.
Bye-bye, gendarme.
Okay, homosexual underground. That's only 8 hours. He sees mysterious strangers in the night, leaning against unlit doorways, engaged in hushed conversations. A shadowy cabal exchanging looks, whispering in dark alleys and unmarked locales. A radical cell conspiring against the state, and perhaps even against man and woman. Is that a secret handshake? What's going on? Who are these secretive people? How will they accomplish their sinister and world-altering goals? Most importantly, are you one of them? There we go. I can read. Jesus. You could be. Maybe you forgot. Actually, you know what? I did things stupidly. I needed to talk to Gary first.
Boy, am I ever so grateful to you, officer. But I'm not the only one.
Because this is a composure check, too. We're just doing all the composure checks right now. Talk to her then. But, fine. How long do we have on our speed still? 46, okay.
Oh, sweetie, I don't even know how to thank you for finding my husband and helping him out. I hope we haven't been too much trouble for you.
Just doing my job, man. It was truly an epic long-distance trek. It's just on my way while I was working the case. I'm basically a cryptozoologist now.
Here, I want to give you a small token of my gratitude. It's a tie, Mesk in origin. The pin is an antique, quite special.
The little silvery knob holding the tie together feels warm in your hand. It's in the shape of an avian skull with 8 eyes. You could ask her about this when you get the time. It's probably a cryptid, but the phasmid, of course, is more important.
Never told me he's seen the phasmid.
Oh, you don't want to hear about some old woman's ramblings.
Ramblings? Nonsense. Your description of the phasmid is the most precise I've ever heard.
Darling, I didn't even get the size of it right.
You were a child, my dear. Really. It's extraordinary what you were able to describe. Now go on. Tell our friend about it. He's proven his interest in the field.
Reflexively, the lieutenant read his familiar notebook.
Well, it was summer. I was building a racing track out of sand on the beach near a tall stand of reeds. Quite a tall one. Many times my height, I remember. When, all of a sudden...
Wait, where was this and how old were you?
I'm getting ahead of myself. I was 5 and a half, in Betancourt, in the suburbs. My grandmother had a summer home there.
She'd just started forming memories. Real memories. Not the billowy haze of infanthood. Betancourt got bombed in the war. It used to be quite near, circa 20 kilometers from here.
What happened?
The strangest moment of my life. I looked up and one of the reeds moved. Not like a plant, but like a living thing. It stood up and looked at me. Its body unfolded like some antique toy. I've never seen anything like it.
She had no fear, just surprise.
I didn't know this can happen, so I reached my arm and touched the thing. It felt just like a stalk of reed, but it moved, swaying, towering above me. After a while, 20 seconds, a minute maybe, it left, went into the reeds.
Did you follow it?
I tried, but I was only a child. There was mud and high water. I couldn't see it anymore. I was just standing there knee-deep in mud, looking around me.
Where did you go? Don't go.
Then what?
I ran back home to my grandmother and asked her if reeds could walk, and told her they were looking at me. Of course, she just laughed at me, but I knew what I'd seen. For years, it was a story I told at parties when I wanted to impress boys. That sort of thing. Of course, most people just took it as a strange, amusing anecdote. So did I, honestly. But then I met Morel.
We were on a date. Can you imagine? She tells me a story, and it's the most detailed report of the Insulindian phasmid I've ever heard. The sounds. She told me it hissed.
So that's how they met. This is beyond significant for them.
It did, yes. Like reeds in a gust of wind.
The way it moved, the colour, how some of its limbs were white, like marble. It matched perfectly with what I know from other accounts. It was amazing. If it weren't for Lena, I might have given up hope years ago. It's no exaggeration to say that she restored my faith in my profession.
I need to do these other checks while I'm still on speed. But
Our first, yes.
the woman looks at her husband tenderly. Its limbs are white.
Not all of them. There is some white coloration reported, along with beige, where the camouflage ends.
How big was it?
It's hard to say how big things are when you're quite small yourself. To me, it seemed to be taller than I was then, but that's probably not the case.
Maybe you imagined it?
How could she? Who imagines this? She didn't know about the phasmid. This is the main thing here, what makes it a confirmed sighting. She had no previous knowledge of the insect.
That's true, yes. I'm almost certain neither my mother nor my grandmother knew of it. It was only when I started telling my story as a teenager that boys would tell me, Lena,
She lowers her voice, imitating a boy.
you trying to tell us you saw the Insulindian phasmid out there in those reeds? Get out of here. They just give me a cider and ruffle my hair and tell me to stop dreaming. But I saw it.
Kim, what do you think of this?
I thought it was a wonderful story, man.
He closes his notes and gives her a simple smile.
But I don't believe it. A child left unattended on a warm day. Children make up stories and then end up believing them.
Thank you for sharing this with me.
You're welcome, sweetie. I do appreciate the chance to relive it whenever I get one. It was just such an impossibly sunshiny day. So warm.
And she could get up and walk right into the reeds on her own. Into the mud. Anywhere.
That's all for now, ma'am.
Always a pleasure to see an officer of the law. I mean, officers.
That shirt looks very uncomfortable on him. Look at the buttons, barely keeping that thing together, as if something is ready to rip out from underneath.
His massive musculature?
No, he's scrawny. Try again.
Something worn underneath it?
Yes, like a piece of ceramic armor, for example. One that makes a clicking sound when the plates meet each other, resembling pearls or marbles, stolen from the corpse in the yard near where he lives.
So you're a connoisseur of high-quality combat gear.
I knew you'd figure it out, officer. I'm sorry I didn't tell you at once.
He unbuttons his shirt.
I was ashamed of what I did.
Ah, damn it.
And I didn't want you to know.
You see a gleaming white ceramic shine underneath. A thin layer of interlocking plates covers his gaunt torso.
This shame is surprisingly sincere.
Gary, what's going on?
I took the hanged man's cuirass. I didn't mean to.
God damn it, Gary.
I know.
Shame on you. Give the cuirass to the officer at once.
The woman looks at you, her eyes soft and pleading.
Gary didn't mean to interfere with your investigation, officers. He's just thick-headed and poor as dirt. But he's always helped us, given us a place to stay. And he's followed Morel into God knows what jungles.
He's a loyal friend.
Give me that honor now. Why did you really put these clothes in the trash? Why'd you lie to me, Gary? Do you know who killed the hanged man?
Because I was weak. I should have told you the moment I saw you. But
he's a scaredy cat.
The woman looks at Gary, her eyes motherly. Why'd you really put the clothes in the trash?
everyone was picking those pieces off him, and I was watching them do it. And they'd scattered his clothes all over the yard. Everything was smelling. So I went there to take out the trash and started cleaning up. All those rags on the ground, him swinging up there, and I had a lapse of honor, sir. I thought, he's a foreigner. They all say he wasn't from here. Only the cuirass was left, so I stripped it off him. It was early in the morning. No one saw me. I took it with me. It was a mistake. Had I known it'd give you guys trouble, I wouldn't have... Fuck.
It's okay. It was a loose end, and you are tying it up now.
I'm so fucking sorry I called you Yellow Man. Sealite officers commanded the suzerain's navy. Most of them sided with the king when...
It's difficult to say what the lieutenant thinks of this historic apology. His face does not belie emotions.
Do you know who killed the hangman?
I always thought it was the Union. Some Union hardasses lynched him because of the strike. But almost everyone in town knows that. I wish I could tell you more.
He shakes his head. Give me the armor now.
He sighs again.
Ding.
Hangs his head and unbuttons his shirt fully. A cuirass that matches the dead man's boots comes into view. Soon it is in your hands, smelling of his sweat. But so light to hold, like a bag of cotton. This is it. This will protect your mortal shell. Don it and live.
We done here, Gary?
Yes, absolutely. I will never do anything like this again.
He looks around, relieved of some burden, his mouth still quivering. Alright, let's take a look at the armor. Clothes. Oh yeah, that's right, we also got the bolo tie. Which is basically like the other tie, but better. Because it gives volition as well. So this is pain threshold and volition, but minus empathy. I mean, it's not bad, but I kind of need empathy right now. Speaking of empathy, let's... Do we equip for empathy right now? Nah, let's go ahead and talk to Renee again. Because I could do... so basically I'm hopped up on drugs right now, and we'll have an easier time doing yellow and purple checks. Empathy is purple. There are a couple nearby that I can try, so might be worthwhile. Once I fail this one again.
The purity of snow always reminds me of the purity of a man's soul, if he's got principles.
As Rennie turns from you to his partner and back, the medals on his chest rattle and glare. He keeps his spine straight and his ribcage lifted, displaying them proudly.
How many medals are there?
2. The larger one is shaped like a cross, while the smaller medal resembles the sun.
Look at the cross.
A crowned head in front of 2 crossed rifles. The medal hangs from a blue striped triangle. It's the Croix de Bravoure, Cross of Valor. The cross was the highest battlefield decoration in suzerain's armed forces, awarded for exceptional bravery in the line of duty, in service of King Frizzle I.
Look at the sun.
A small blue star inside an orange sun. It has the word Valiance written below.
Hey, no goal.
The setting sun was a decoration used to distinguish seasoned combat veterans in service of King Frizzle I during the Revolution.
Croix de Bravoure. In the setting sun. Point to his chest. You get them for
bravery.
He interjects.
It's a conflicted topic for the old veteran. There must have been a number of controversial episodes in his service days.
So I was going to say for bravery.
I'm sure, but I know this uniform's reputation. You are also wondering if I got this for raping women or killing babies.
I don't know the reputation of anything. I don't even recognize the war. Sounds controversial. Let's talk about something else.
Son, we should never forget our past. Lots of mistakes were made back then, but there were also lessons.
His voice takes on a tutor-like quality.
Forgetting those times means the mistakes were for nothing. That all those people died for nothing.
Whoa. Sounds like you're about to open the gates of conversation. This man will literally talk your ear off if you let him wander off the memory lane.
So, what did you get the medals for?
For doing my duty in the heat of battle. For looking my mortality in the eye. When men like Gaston here hid in the bushes and shot themselves.
He saved some muddy princeling who foolishly strolled into the front line in his gown of velvet and gold.
Saved a princeling? Listen, Renee, I might want to hear the story later. Right now I have more important things to discuss. No, I don't.
It was on the first months of the revolution here in Revachol. Unrest was spreading like wildfire. Marauders had taken most of the Couronne and were getting really ambitious. King Frizzle thought he could end it all in one decisive strike. Sent his cousin, Drisson, to put an end to the unrest. Alas, the young Drisson was all piss and no vinegar, wearing a tunic of purple velvet and cockatoo feathers to battle. Even his rifle was gold-plated, shone from 5 clicks away. Can you imagine the asininity?
He really despises that Drisson fellow.
Purple velvet tunic. That isn't exactly camo.
To keep the long and bloody story short, Drisson marched us against the partisans in Couronne. And when I say marched, I mean made us walk into captured enemy territory, single file, like toy soldiers, while he rode in front on his giant red stallion. The rebels were smart. They let us come real close before opening fire. Suffice to say, it was carnage.
Must have been a blood path. I think bloodbath is what they meant.
I got shot in the left shoulder and went down. Just a flesh wound. But just as I turned over, the prince fell into the mud next to me. He was missing his lower jaw. Then his horse, driven mad by the noise and smell of gunpowder, stepped on my leg and shattered my knee.
He pats his right thigh.
It's painful to even think about. Hang on to the story. Veterans get sentimental after such retellings. This might yield something useful.
Okay, then what did you do?
I grabbed my sidearm and shot the beast in the head. Then everything went black.
Capitaine Arnoux, le fléau des chevaux.
When I came to, it was all over. It was just me and Jolles Tresson, gurgling in the blood-soaked mud right next to me. The dink had taken numerous flesh wounds and lost a lot of blood. But despite missing his jaw, he seemed hesitant to die. Tougher than he looked, that one.
That's no dink, that's a fighter. I give up. I can't imagine living without my jaw. Touch your jaw. This would never happen to Johnny Lawjaw. My jaw is tight. I've been through worse.
Right. So I grabbed the prick and started crawling. Kept going until the 59th Cavalry picked us up.
Thanks, Lawjaw.
Through some miracle, we both survived. And the jealous freak convinced Frissel to give me a medal for not leaving him to die in his own blood. Piece and shit. He was the commanding officer and I was on duty. Just doing my job. Shouldn't hand out medals for that. 13 months later, I received the Sun for distinguished service. It's not worth mentioning.
You sense he's downplaying it. He did a lot more than his duty. More than anyone's duty. It's in his spine, in his billowing breasts, and untarnished self-worth.
Why do you despise Jusant so much? Sounds like you're being modest, Renee. Thanks for the story, Renee.
Because he was a goddamn dandy. Had no business leading men or even being on the battlefield. All he was related. That's it. Royal blood alone doesn't make army commanders. He was a stupid kid, only interested in horses, hairstyles, and man-loving. And 782 Royal Carabineers are dead because of his incompetence.
The old Carabineer stands quietly like a statue, his features motionless.
What Monseigneur Modesty is not telling you is that he crawled over 7 kilometers before the cavalrymen found him and Drizant. 2 days later that was. And that even while crawling with a mangled half-dead prince on his back, he still managed to murder 3 rebels on his way.
Is that pride in his voice? It's deep down, but maybe even unbeknownst to the man himself, it's there.
Hold on, you're just a little bit proud of Renee's heroics, aren't you? Quite impressive. It's been like Renee who made Rochelle great once. I'm not impressed. All those heroics, and where is he now? No, you gotta play to win. Look after you first. This doesn't seem like a good moment to express an opinion. I don't want to risk it.
Sorry, officer, but you're reading me all wrong. I'm a man of peace, and these kinds of bloody heroics are only impressive to men like René himself. Certainly not to me. How did you find the story to be, officer?
Bon Dieu. You and Gaston must be related. His blood runs yellow too.
Maybe, but also bear in mind, officer. They don't end this out for anyone with a service record. Oh no, you have to get shot repeatedly. And you need to get your hands bloody too. Really, really bloody.
Do not speak of what you know nothing about, Poltroon. Duty is something you will never understand.
Thanks for the story, Renee.
There were many such stories in those days. Many such men too. True Revacholians. Men with backbone.
Oh yes, René, yes. Men were bigger, girls were prettier, and everyone wore the fascia. Lord, please bring those days back, if you can.
I'm not getting into this with you again. Officer, was there anything else?
You should try to come up with a heroic story of your own. Impress this old soldier.
Not right now. Okay, we got Kuno and we got Tommy Laham. Let's go with Kuno. See if we can do the empathy check here.
Fuck does Kuno care? Kuno doesn't.
That's cool. Okay, we want empathy clothes. Are we wearing any right now? Anything that does anything with empathy. Okay. I wasn't really paying attention. Is that really it? Damn. Alright.
Fuck does Kuno care?
Did back down from Kuno, whatever. We do have 5 pips that we can put in there.
The fuck about it? You're testing. Get lost.
He's on your crime scene, bossing you around. And he's been here for some time too. This is where he hangs out. You have to get more out of him. He could be useful.
Listen, Kuno, I know this boundary pushing is new to you, but it's old news for us
Get
grown-ups.
your snout out of Kuno's ass. Kuno knows how hard Kuno pushes it. Kuno pushes it hard level. You should give up, Popo, or the Kun will keep fucking it out of you.
You okay, Kuno?
She looks worried. The Kun has her confused.
That went wrong. He took it as a compliment. Then he had a minor seizure.
Yeah? The kingdom of Kuno. Yeah, whatever. The fuck about it?
What's the rest of his armor besides the cuirass? I got that.
Kuno doesn't give a shit about the armor.
How come?
That fucking had one thing majorly wrong with him. He's a fucking mutant.
A mutant?
Do you remember how he looked? Fucking growth hormone shit. He's a giant. The armor's too big for any man. Kuno doesn't give a shit about that freak armor. Kuno threw that shit away.
Oh, come on. He's just pretending that he doesn't care because he's too small for the armor.
You're just too small for the armor.
Get the fuck out of here trying to fuck on me with that midget shit. Kuno's 12. He's huge.
He squints at you.
What are you? Fucking 80?
44.
When Kuno's 80, Kuno can fit 4 of you in Kuno. Fuck out of here.
Trying to fuck on Kuno. Fuck out of here.
What do you mean threw it away?
Kuno tried to get the helmet on. It was too big.
Performs a kickoff on the imaginary helmet.
Kuno kicked that shit in the sea, rugby style. That shit means nothing to Kuno.
Threw it in the sea.
Yeah, that shit means nothing to Kuno. Kuno doesn't give a shit about material shit. Kuno's a fucking monk.
Sure.
You wanna fuck on someone about that armor? Go fuck the mustached union fuck. The jolly troubadour shit at the gates.
Who do you mean, troubadour?
Yeah, cock and boot. You know that jolly union cow fucker? Came around talking about cows or some shit. Came around pretending like he cares about cows.
Yes, you met him at the gates. The one with the boots and the jolly smile.
You mean Manana?
Yeah, he's the one you want to talk to. He's fucking crazy about that armor shit. Coming here pretending like he likes cows. Trying to catch a peep at Kuno's armor.
Yes, this troubadour has it. You can feel it.
Alright, I'm actually going to take a quick break before we ask him about the contusions on the body. I should have done this stuff a long time ago. I just kind of missed it, I guess. Whoops. Alright, yeah, because we got an ad running in like 45 seconds, so I'm going to just hop off and take a quick bathroom break, get some water. So I'll be back in a couple minutes. Stay tuned. Okay, time to ask about the contusions.
Fuck are you talking about? What is this contusion shit?
Grabs its head like it's suddenly hurting.
He says you're stupid, Kuno. They want to make you stupid again.
Again? Contusion's a bruise. I'm talking about the marks your stones left on the corpse. Maximum velocity.
Oh, did Kuno make your shit sniffing harder? Obstruction of shit sniffing? This is Kuno's kingdom. Kuno fucking rules here.
You hear the lieutenant hum.
More on this later.
Your test.
Get lost.
Kuno doesn't fucking care.
Okay. Okay, let's go talk to Manana. I mean, we're kind of picking our way to Everard. And that is, in fact, on the way.
Hola, wandering man. How can I help you?
Kuno told me you were supposed to know about the armor.
The little boy had a good on his promise.
His promise?
To get me into trouble. To sick the pigs on me. Pardon the choice of words. Not mine.
What happened?
I was asked to look into that armor situation. Official Union probe, you know. Track it down, see who took it.
Did you?
At first I thought, why not? Maybe the pieces can feed the strike. Buy us a few more days under the sun, you know? So I went to this boy. He said he'll make me his prison bitch. He's got eyes everywhere, and the cups in his pocket, and he's the king of Jamrock. Serves me right for doing menial footwork. I dropped that probe right then and there, and it still got me into trouble. One bad move is all it takes.
So Kuno used us to what? Scare you? The probe into the armor, what'd you learn?
It's a minor nuisance. It's all good.
He contemplates taking a swig from his flask.
He thinks, not yet. Better to get this business out of the way. Sweeter then.
Probe into the armor, what'd you learn?
I learned that people don't want to talk to a drunk Union man about some armor.
What else?
Not much. Technical stuff mostly. That was the interesting part.
What sort of technical stuff?
I did some research into this armadura. Let's say I have friends at the library. I didn't get into the material science, just how it comes off.
How does it come off?
In parts. 4 in total. The helmet was the first to go. The kid says he tore it off and kicked it into the sea. I believe him. The boots were still on the guy last I saw. Too hard to remove. So, as I count, there are 2 parts missing. The gauntlets and the cuirass. This is where I left off. Too much hassle. More like a job for some militia.
Hold up, 4 pieces. Helmet, cuirass, gauntlets, boots. What about the leggings?
Oh, they're just gone. They don't exist anymore, if they ever did at all. Forget about them. I did.
I'm ambitious. I'm going to find all of it. All the pieces.
All of it? There are junior officers out there, eager to prove themselves. I would leave some for them, and I would leave the boots to processing. But okay. Let's find all of it.
Oh, Kim, you already know that I have the boots.
And Mesqui's epic then, all across Martinez. I hope it will be a real bonanza for you. Especially getting those boots off him. You'd have an easier time wrestling the spurs off a boyadero than that. I learned...
What else?
Not much. It's a minor nuisance.
He thinks.
It's a minor
He thinks, not yet.
I did some...
How does it come up?
In parts. So, as I count, there are 2 parts missing. The gauntlets and the cuirass. Yes. You said as much. No problem. If you see that kid, thank him from Call Me Mañana. Thank him for showing me the way.
He is sincerely grateful he is not tracking down pieces of armor right now.
Alright. Where's the rest of the armor? Kuno lied to you. Confront him. Take on this responsibility. We gotta find him. This might take a long while. It does, in fact, take a long while. There's one of the pieces that you literally can't get until the end of the game. So... not yet. We'll go back. At the bottom, the Union logo and demand democracy. Where's the exit? There.
This is the night what?
Okay, I think that we still need more time to hit, or before we can get into the container. Kvalson means whale fjord in Arden. Swedish.
You're back before the cargo container. Its drawer has not lessened since you were last here. If anything, it seems to have grown slightly.
I'm dumb. I haven't actually turned the letter in yet, so there's nothing to talk to Everett about. Yeah, let's go ahead and equip these. Down the damn stairs, Harry. You lied to me, Kuno. You betrayed my trust.
Fuck does Kuno care?
Talk to Manana about the armor.
So?
He raises his eyebrows, projecting aggressive indifference. He told me you promised to stick the pigs on him. He said to thank you. He wasn't too keen on chasing down that armor anyway. Said you're not the king of Jamrock?
Fuck, okay. Kuno's a giver like that, yes?
He looks slightly confused.
Kuno sent your fat ass running around like jello.
Look, pig.
Could use the
Kuno
exercise.
sent you to rough some people up. Kuno played you. That happened. Now you and Kuno should move on.
Good idea.
Yes, let's move on. I'll remember this, Kuno. Whatever, kid.
You got fucked. You got fucked, pig. Fucked bad. Of course you're gonna remember this. Now get the fuck out of here, Grief and the Kuno. After this shit, you better have something real interesting to say if you want to stay in Kuno's face.
Yeah, real interesting.
Kuno.
Bye. Okay, let's talk to the automobile first.
Inside, you see a set of steering levers, a radio microphone, a pull-out toolbox, and the soft glow of the fuel preheater gauge. The white suede feels luxurious under the touch, and the metal clutch handle so very familiar in your palm. Your fingers waste no time closing around the handle. Clutch disengaged. Release the handle. Clutch drops. Right foot yearns for the familiar touch of the accelerator pedal. You have synced with the machine's mechanical circulation. You feel an uninterrupted connection to the mechanics. After a while, you realize silence is your only answer. Do what you will with it. Of course it's only in your head. Of course it is. But it almost feels as if the clutch handle is gently squeezing back. The smell of freshly treated leather, the lack of dirt and dust on the dashboard, and a neat little brush in the cup holder, all seem to be whispering, I'm good, cherished and cared for, in the hands of a tending owner. The handle is pulled back. Somewhere deep inside the drivetrain, the disc is mated to the flywheel again. In the cabin, you see a...
This is Precinct 57. How may I assist you?
I need to report a dead body on the Martinez boardwalk.
One moment.
You can hear her shuffling through some papers.
Can you please describe the body? Age, sex, cause of death?
Non-identified middle-aged man, height 170 to 175 centimeters, dark hair, medium build. Looks like he slipped, fell through a hole in the boardwalk and hit his head against a metal bench.
We suspect he might have been inebriated when he fell. There were bottles all around him, and traces of vomit on his shirt.
Any signs of violence?
No, it seems like an accident.
No field autopsy necessary.
She repeats.
You can hear her quickly typing in the background.
What about his belongings? Did you examine his clothes?
He was wearing boots, trousers, and an old leather jacket with a bright blue lining. I found a library card from his pockets.
Any information on the library card?
It's from Central Jamrock Public Library. It belongs to someone named Billy Méjean.
Good. You have a lead. Do you and Lieutenant Kitsuragi want to take the case, or should I assign it to someone else?
We're taking the case.
I have assigned the case to Lieutenant Kim Kitsuragi. Please follow up on this library lead to identify the man. We'll send someone to take the body to the morgue. That's all for now. Thank you for reporting in. Is there anything else I can do for you?
Please connect me to the Jamrock Public Library.
Hold on, officer. I've got Central Jamrock Public Library on the line, and I've already introduced you to their librarian. Connecting the call in 2, 1.
Yes, this is Central Jamrock Public Library here. How can I help you, officer?
He sounds worried, yet ready to assist. This is how people get when the police call.
Looking for any information you can provide on Billy Méjean, a reader.
Billy Méjean, you said. Give me a moment, I'll have to check our database.
Puts down the receiver.
On Moreau Drive in Central Jamrock, in a darkened hall lit by orange desk lamps, far away from the noise outside, a middle-aged man taps commands into an old radio computer. A printout falls on the desk. Behind him, a lonely reader scours some dusty bookshelves, looking for a paperback.
Yes, hello, are you still there? I found Billy Méjean's home address, is that alright? No phone number, unfortunately.
Yes, that home address is fine.
Here we go, sir. Rue de Saint-Ghislain, 33B, apartment number 20. It's in Martinez, I believe. Cape Side Apartments, it says. That's all.
That's where the smoker on the balcony lives, isn't it?
Do you have any other information on Billy Méjean?
It says here that they returned their last book just a few days ago, but I wasn't at work that day.
Do you know who someone who was?
Marie? Marie? Do you remember a reader named Billy Méjean? They returned a Tybalt book the other day.
Or someone answer from afar.
Yes, it was my colleague Marie. She said that it was Billy's husband who returned the book. He also asked for this new sci-fi release, Lowe's Radio City 87, but we don't have it yet.
So Billy Méjean is a woman, not a man. How did your colleague know it was her husband? How do you know the husband's name? Or do you know the husband's name? Can Marie describe to me what the husband looked like? Thank you, that's all from me. I love this game of telephone that you have in this conversation.
Marie knows Billy. She's been working here longer than me. Sometimes her husband returns some books for her.
And then goes for a little drink later, on the lookout.
Sorry, no. Marie only knows him by sight.
Alright, what did he look like?
Marie!
Moment passes.
She said it was an older man, and that she's pretty sure he'd had a drink or two the last time she saw him.
What was he wearing?
1 second.
Librarian turns away from the phone again and relays the question.
Sorry, Marie wasn't really paying any attention to that.
Thank you, that's all for me. I have no other questions.
Happy we could help. Goodbye, officer.
Librarian hangs up the call and gets redirected back to the station with a soft click.
Anything else you need from me?
Nope, I'm good.
57th, over and out.
In the cabin, you see a set of steering levers, a radio on a hook, a pull-out toolbox, and the soft glow of the fuel preheater gauge.
Alright, you two goobers, what's going on?
That's one brutal motor carriage.
Young man with piss F written on his back says,
If I were a real skull now, I'd jack it, paint it in palm tree livery, then bottom light it, neon style.
His companion wears a simple yet elegant slogan, fuck the world.
A snazzy shit-ripped skullmobile like this would make a fine trophy. We could, like, hang fucking shrunken heads from the side mirrors. Cops' heads. Scary tribal shit.
Yeah, tribal shit. A cop carriage like this would have proper skull value.
While I appreciate the interest you take in my brutal motor carriage, I have to stop you right there. The RCM takes threats directed at its property seriously.
It's just theoretical work, Copper. No basis in reality. Man, if we were certified skulls right now...
Who are you?
I can tell you who we're not, cop. We're not snitches or skulls.
Which is not to say that the skulls are bitches and... On the contrary.
The part of this presentation you want to take home with you, cop man, is we're not part of the skulls yet.
Who are the skulls?
You don't know? What kind of cop are you?
I'm so glad you asked. Of course I do. I'm just testing you boys. No, I really don't.
The question was rhetorical. The skulls are the most vicious gang of the Besmertne.
Besmertine, or the Besmati, the Immortals, are West Rivisholian crime syndicates.
The nastiest bunch of psychos ever. Jacking carriages and getting into high-speed chases.
Possessing an infinite amount of fuck-all swagger, infamous for their non-verbal modus operandi.
They usually occupy the burnt-out quarter in Jamrock, or you can find them loitering around the brightly painted bottom-lighted vehicles.
I can't wait to become a skull. Bottom lights are wretched aggressive.
No, they really aren't. It's porno tuning. Say no to the porno.
Say no to the porno. It even has no in it. Come on. Know anything about the murder that takes place here?
Murder?
Man was killed, hanged in the back of the whirling rags.
Yeah, sure. We'll gladly tell you everything we know about it. It was a man.
Also, he was hanged.
Don't fuck around. I am the law.
He was hanged from a tree.
Yeah, I mean, duh.
These punks don't know anything. Let's just move along.
Hey, stop right there. How does one know anything?
Ah, this sounds like epistemology. A field so occupied by thought that it begins to question thought itself.
No, you don't know shit.
Exactly. How can one know shit? For example, how can one be sure that there truly is a body hanging behind a hostel?
Oh, there isn't anymore. We took it down. Well, Measurehead took it down.
What if it's art? Or just a mere specter?
Ooh, hold on. Hold on. It's kind of late to take it, but let's try. I probably will not gonna. No, let's not take it. Is it late?
No reply. The blonde rebel scratches his chin, deliberately not focusing his gaze on anything. He looks very uncomfortable.
Lieutenant raises an eyebrow but does not comment. One of the dialogue bugs. Womp womp. Do you know what happened to the victim's armor?
Nope. But Cindy does.
Don't tell him that. Skulls don't tattle, man. Cindy wouldn't.
You mean Cindy the Skull?
No. A different Cindy. From out of town. She doesn't know shit about armored gloves, that's for sure.
That was super convincing. I believe you, Winky Face.
He did mean Cindy the Skull. All right, we have a lead on the gloves.
What's with the jackets?
What about them?
Why does your jacket have Piss F written on it?
Well, first off, it's a statement and not necessarily something that characterizes me as a person, even though the statement has character. And I do like piss. The word piss epitomizes the struggle taking place in the world. Things being defined as they seem, not as they are. And, I guess, It's also about communal spirit, the future, and truly appreciating our differences. Also, you've got to admit, it catches the eye. And since the Grand Piper is slowly but steadily moving towards basing the economy on it, attention, it is imperative that the medium itself convey the message.
Makes sense.
What I mean by this is, we are all pissed, and that the world is inherently meaningless.
It seems that the young man has a certain expertise in at least one field, even if it's rather narrow.
Why do you have "fuck the world" written on your jacket?
Like I said before, many men keep searching for the one, for so-called true love, which is actually just obsession masquerading as kinship. The thrill of the chase, the hollowness that fills your chest cavity after catching it. To catch a fish, you'll need to hurl the lure many times, and even then it isn't certain that you'll get anything. If you blow up the lake, though...
That's a terrible metaphor. Blow it up!
You get more fish in a shorter time. And, for time is of the essence and fleeting ever so quickly, one must think of a way to fuck the whole world and not get caught up in fucking someone. Because when one fucks everything, he fucks nothing. And that, to me, feels glorious. Sticking your dick into the void.
In the glory holes, got it.
Is it a coincidence that here we have 2 badass jackets and 2 badass cops?
Hey, Kim.
Yes?
Do you think it's a coincidence?
What is?
There are 2 of us and 2 of those jackets.
What are you implying?
Which one would you wear?
I'm not sure I understand you, detective.
Are you more of a piss F or a fuck the world kind of guy?
Neither.
Come on, Kim, it's just a mental exercise.
Fine. If only to end this discussion. Theoretically, if I were a juvenile delinquent, if I were to already be down that path, I think peace is the stronger of the 2 statements.
That works. I feel more like a fuck the world kind of guy.
Seems about right, especially considering your heroic exit attempts.
That's an origin story for a dynamic duo right there.
So are we done here? Or... you don't need us around for your secret whisper party, do you?
Well, talking to you has definitely been something. So it's a half-light check, and my half-light's pretty bad, so... what can I get it up to, I wonder? Oh, that's it. 5, huh? Plus alcohol is 6. Which
that
gets
ride
me
is
to...
fucking lightning.
Hey, piss. Look who it is.
It's not great.
Shrunken cophead material.
Yeah, I guess we'll use the riding boots. I'm not going to do that yet. Those guys disappear once you do the that red check, so I'm just going to chill on that.
The dented yellow mailbox greets you with its graffito and bullet holes in the front.
I'm going to get to use this mullet hole. Mullet hole? What the fuck? Mailbox for something. I got mixed up with bullet holes and mailbox and just came out as mullet hole.
Yes, for sending mail.
You drop the white envelope in the darkness. It lands with a soft thud on what sounds like a couple of letters. About a week's worth of mail as collected in there. They'll empty this very soon. Probably did the right thing. You can't trust that slug, Everard. You know he's going to play you somehow.
All right, let's go back to Everard. If we don't mention anything to him, he won't know before it's too late.
I guess Kim knows that I forged it. I did it inside the cabin, so he wasn't actually there when I did it. I'm gonna check in with Tommy real quick. Tommy!
Still here. Stuck in this
13.
damn jam, my man. What's up?
Next time I'm on speed, I'll talk to Tommy again. But for now, let's go talk to Everard. Let's at least get that in the pool. By that in the pool, I mean the pigs. Continue the main story, that's what we're doing. Such as it is. Do I have any cigarettes? No. Alright, I'll have to pick up some. Pick up some cigarettes on the way out. There's an encyclopedia check that I want to make sure that I get later.
I'm not gonna bother you with a long greeting, just like we talked about before. I know you're probably a busy man being an important police officer and all, and personally, I think the more people keeping the peace, the better.
Okay, bye. It's not a fishing rod, is it? It's...
Mr. Dubois, I hear the meeting with Titus was a glowing success. That's such a relief. Titus can be a handful sometimes. Now, what can Everard Clare do for you today?
It's done. Let's go over a couple things
Let's
about
hear
me.
it, Harry. Of course, Harry, of course.
Alright, we're gonna put on all our drama clothes, and then we're gonna do this again. Because we have drama clothes. Like, we've got drama covered. Like, the mesh tank top, for instance. The kimono. The bow tie.
Mr. Dubois, let's hear it, Harry.
Everard's large hands are covering the...
This would require us to go through piss faggot. Oh, I didn't mean to say that out loud. Damn it! Ban myself. Piss F. And fuck the world again. That is banned word in the channel. Don't say it.
That's it. I can. You don't know what
Besmetar.
the nasty
Possessing an infinite.
They you. No, they really aren't.
Yeah.
Also,
Yeah.
This.
Hey.
Ah, this sounds like epistemology. A field so...
what if it's art?
No,
Nope.
Don't tell it.
No. A difference in.
he did. All right. We have a lead.
What about them? Well, the word also. You would.
It seems that the young...
Like to catch a fish, you'll need to. Because.
Is it a coincidence that here we...
Yes? What are you implying? I'm not sure I understand you, detective. Neither. Fine, if only to end this discussion. Seems about...
That's a...
So are we done here? Or.
Okay. Did I do the stuff with the radio yet? Yes, okay. Well, you know what? Hey, I'm at Frita. Let's go ahead and buy some cigarettes.
A colourful
Again, I'm obliged to inform you that both alcohol and cigarettes damage your health. Here you go, mister.
Come on. Fine. So we know we have a drama check coming up. Could take some cigarettes to... Well, I mean, I'm already at 97%. Like, we critical failed that check. That's why I reset. Like, 97% means you win unless you roll a 2. We rolled a 2. One day, container, I will reveal your secrets. That day is not today. No, I'm barely even using White Morning. I should probably just get rid of it. What else does it give me? Motorix +1. That's like alright, I guess. It's Learning Cap +1. It's not actually Motorix +1. You know what? Now that I'm looking at this again, it's actually pretty okay. I don't know, man.
Mr. Dubois, now, what can Everard Clare do for you today? Let's hear it, Harry.
As you look at the folder, Everard covers it with his hand and pets it. He's hiding it from you because it's not a real RCM folder. It's just another one of those brown folders you saw in the file cabinet.
It's not an RCM folder.
Okay, Harry, you got me. This is from the Census Bureau, not the RCM. Those Census Bureau people are absolutely corrupt. You should do something about them.
He got the name from the Census Bureau, and everything else from your actions here in Martinez.
Yes, Mr. Kitsuragi from the Census Bureau. Like I said, now I'm actually a very busy man. So is there anything else I can do for you, Harry?
That means he doesn't really know anything about you. A pity. The mystery of you will have to remain a mystery for the time being.
So the Census Bureau says my name is Harry Dubois.
Yes, that's what I said. Try to keep up, okay?
Alright, let's put a more balanced set of clothes on. Right now we're basically just drama and electrochemistry. So let's put like the normal clothes back on. Boop, boop, boop. Do I need authority? Maybe. I guess we'll find out. Cough, cough, cough.
Mr. Dubois, every worker is a god, right? What can I do for you today?
I mailed the signatures you asked me to get, lie.
No, you didn't. I know the mailman, Harry. I know everyone and everything that happens in this town, and I know there's no letter in that mailbox yet.
Oh, god damn it.
Just like I know you'll get it done. Once you stop horsing around...
I forgot to put the letter in the mailbox, since I saved it. The fishing village?
Yes, the little cul-de-sac on the coast, where all the men have drowned, in either the sea or the bottle. A gloomy place, doesn't have that union attitude. By all means, Harry.
Alright, let's go get those signatures. Signatures and like massive air quotes, by the way. Man, this has been just like one false start after another getting getting these damn signatures in the we're getting Getting Everett to talk some more. Just have not been on top of the ball here. But hey, we did the drama check. Woo. Get right to work to tell me about the tattoos, but not yet. Not yet. Mailbox.
The dented yellow mailbox greets you with it.
Yes. For sent.
You drop the white. About
The
a
mullet
week's worth
hole.
of mail as collect. Probably did the right thing.
All right, let's go back to Everard. If we don't mention...
Why am I checking with Kuno again? There's nothing new here. But what if there is?
Fuck does Kuno care?
Bye.
Kuno.
Kuno doesn't fucking care. Did you guys know that? I know it's crazy. Who would have known? Alright, before I continue any further, I need to check to make sure I actually mailed that damn thing. Okay. Alright, let's try this again. Third time's the charm, right?
Mr. Dubois, every worker is a god, right? What can I do for you today?
I mailed the signatures.
The golden boy returns once more. Wonderful. Simply wonderful, Harry. Of course. I already knew this.
Yeah, you got eyes all over the streets.
My friend, the mailman, confirms the letter is on its way. You've done a great thing today. You've given the children of Martinez a real future, Harry, and I feel I can finally trust you now. You're in my inner circle. You too, Mr. Kitsuragi. We can talk about anything. The strike, the murder, your lost gun, nothing is off the table.
See, forging that signature really paid off. Well done, sire. By guile and deceit, you're in.
Signatures I got. I know you plan to force them out with the construction noise.
Harry, by now you should know I would never do anything tricky like that. However, if the construction noise and limited street access makes some people consider moving, well, let's just say there'll be freshly renovated buildings near the roundabout where those poor people can finally enjoy a significant uptick in quality of life. I'm talking real affordable workers' palaces.
He proudly spreads his hands to demonstrate the size of the palaces. They're very large.
So the village is doomed.
Lieutenant says grimly.
You were there, you saw the place, a wasteland, there's nothing left. But mark my words, officers, we are going to reset it. Reset. I have big plans for Martinez, and they do not include humans living in those pig sheds on the coast. That land will be used for municipal buildings and commerce.
What do you mean?
Harry, imagine a youth center supermarket church complex, employing hundreds, no, thousands of people. The coast will be lit up with enterprise and life. All those ruins out there turned into low-income housing. Harry, enough is enough. We're taking this district back. The war was 50 years ago, for God's sake. It's time to move on.
Youth supermarket church complex. You really expect me to believe that? See, that sounds like a ridiculous combination of, like, businesses and stuff, but, like, there's strip malls around near where I live where they basically have that combination. So it's like, that's not too far-fetched, actually.
Yes, I do. I got the center, I got room for a retail complex, and in 4 years, I'll get the church too. The wheels are already turning, Harry. The wheels of progress. This post-war limbo, I won't stand for it. There are kids practically playing with their own feces out there. It cannot go on.
There is true indignation in his voice when he speaks about the state of things, and even a touch of pain. The pain is true. He's seen kids do worse than that. And then there will be a giant statue of him towering above it all.
Wait, but will you erect a statue to yourself?
I'm not a symbolist, Harry. I'm a realist. My statue will be Martinez rebuilt. 5-story building complexes, kids off speed, and landowners in a zone hating me. That will be my statue. And yours. We're doing this together.
You're up to something.
Damn right I'm up to something, Harry. I'm gonna make the working man as rich as Joyce Messier. That's my job. Just like yours is to keep the peace.
A true flash of anger in him as he thinks of her.
Did you order the hanged man killed?
I did not, Harry. Although I am very, very glad he's dead.
What do you gain from him being dead?
Why, a war, of course.
Okay, I guess we are at this point in the game. Alright.
And what do you have to gain from a war?
Victory, Mr. Kitsuragi. I have victory to gain. We are going to start a war with the Wild Pines group and win before they even realize there is a war.
Have you ever heard what 2 giant Sarajevo's hornets can do to an entire colony of bees? They destroy it. The trained military people, aren't you afraid for your men?
I have. It's a great story, Harry. Did you also know how the bee colony kills the giant hornet? They swarm and blanket it entirely until it suffers a massive heat stroke and dies.
I think I heard somewhere that, like, some types of bees, basically, they'll do kind of the same thing. They'll swarm a hornet that invades their nest, but basically their wings create a vacuum that suffocates the hornet.
He crosses his hands contently, thinking
Kinda
of the
neat.
interior temperature of the wasp rising. They cook it alive in its exoskeleton.
Harry, we outnumber them 1,500 to 1, and that's just Martinez. With all the unions in Revachol, and with public opinion on our side, we can hold off.
Ah,
2
but there are
men,
3 of them.
Or 15 men.
Oh.
Or even 50 men. The more they send, the worse it's going to look for them. They made a huge mistake hiring those guys. No one likes foreign mercenaries. The leftists hate them, the fascists hate them, even the moralists think they're in bad taste.
How's this connected to the strike?
Harry, there is no strike, only war. Class war. Or, in business terms, a dawn raid. Or wait. Is that when you still pay them something? Because we won't do that. We're not going to give nothing. We're going to take Terminal B away from them. The roads, the gates, the containers, that big crane, even the damn coffee maker. We're going to take all of it for the people, and fuck Wild Pines.
The word fuck rings like a gunshot from his mouth. He doesn't swear often.
So that's why you haven't let Joyce in?
Yes. It's also why I let that midget Gaumont go. He's too nice. I can't put him through this. Plus, he knows how to get in here. That woman can't tell her tits from her asshole. She has no chance.
Why are you telling me your plans?
Because we're friends, Harry. Besides, it doesn't matter now. You can go tell her if you want. It won't change the course of events. We have a significant head start. It's already happening.
How many of you guys are there in the Union?
2,372. Plus yours truly, of course.
It's not that many. Alright, anyway, how are you going to fund your new independent harbor? Drugs!
Oh, you mean what sort of goods are going to be flowing through? How am I going to replace all the contacts we'll lose once the poo-poo hits the fan? The clients will ditch us. Harry, we've thought of everything.
Everything?
We've been running back channel negotiations with all the major clients. I think the company will be unpleasantly surprised to see how many of them stay loyal to Martinez and to the new competitive contracts we can offer. With renewed zeal sparked by communal ownership, the men will be shipping those containers double time. You'll be surprised to see how fast things go without parasites latching on. We'll have our hands free to pursue bold, exotic new revenue streams.
I think you'd be surprised by how much workers don't want to work. Anyway, what kind of bold new exotic revenue streams are we talking about?
Haven't you seen the crates outside, Harry? There's all sorts of fun stuff inside them. I mean, heck, this one has you and the lieutenant, me, and my novelty swordfish clock.
Did he just deflate slightly? Was there something he wanted you to ask about? Maybe you should come back if you learn something relevant and ask again.
Can I get my gun now?
Harry, I've got to be honest with you. Your gun was found 2 days ago. Withholding this information weighed heavily on me, but it had to be done.
Fine, where is it?
An old woman has it, and let me tell you, Harry, word on the street is she's a character, so watch out.
This must be the woman who bought the gun from Roy. The one he described as terrifying.
So the gun's still with the woman who bought it from Roy.
Yes, the same one. I see you've done your research. The pawn shop made the gun easy to track. Crazy stuff, Harry. Selling your gun like that? Wild. Anyway, the neighbors of this old woman contacted my men because they trust me and the Debarders Union. Apparently, she was waving it around at the entrance to her building.
Waving the gun around doesn't sound good. None of this does.
She was waving it around at people? Hey, who else did that?
As I said, she's a character. I didn't have time for details. It sounds like she's unstable, but don't worry. No one got hurt.
Unstable is good, actually. She will be easier to disarm. No, wait. Actually, unstable is pretty bad.
That's right, I auto-pass all passive anti-coordination checks right now. That is from... Is it from Lawjaw? Yes. Cool. Who is this old woman?
Unfortunately, I don't know anymore. You're gonna have to go in blind, Harry. But she's an old lady. How dangerous can she possibly be? Oh, and she calls herself the Pigs.
There it is again. The Pigs. Like Roy said, not good at all.
I, for one, find it refreshing. Finally, someone calls themselves a pig.
Smile flickers in the corner of his mouth. Hey, don't be too happy about that.
It actually sounds extremely bad, but let's not give him the satisfaction.
Can you set up a meeting?
I already have. Tonight, starting 10 o'clock, near the old fish market on the coast. The one on the boardwalk, a little past the fishing village. Be careful, Harry. I would never set you up for anything dangerous, but you did ask for this. Now, back to the fun stuff.
She will be there from 2200 hours till 0200 hours.
More fun stuff. Seems like we already have fun stuff to do.
You have no idea, Kim.
Great,
You haven't
Harry,
gotten to
great.
the fun stuff yet.
I think we've truly built a bridge between Martinez and Jamrock today. We have united the RCM and the Debarders Union.
Suddenly there's sadness in his tone.
This has been so great. I'm sorry we don't have more fun things to do together, but if you ever feel like bouncing something off me, my door is always open.
You have more to bounce off him. We're not quite done yet. Because yeah, during that conversation, it was mentioned that he was like, oh, he's kind of disappointed that you didn't ask him more about this certain topic. And that topic is where he's getting his money from. So, we'll find out more about that later, I think. I don't remember where, but yeah. I think it might be when we're inspecting the trucks. We find some that have a lot of, like, materials used to make certain things, and we're like, oh, so that's what's going on here. Okay, let's go finish up that task with the the dead man on the boardwalk. Oh. No, I can't go this way. Never mind. While we're over here, I'll talk to Cindy. I did see something over here. Good job, perception. Whoa, what's this? 16 coldest days of April. Alright, we got ourselves a book. Cindy!
Hello again, officers. Have you come to admire my mural?
Is that bed in the coal room yours?
Ooh. Not only have you found my address, you've discovered my biggest secret. I'm a coal miner.
She does have eyes that seem to be smeared with coal.
Really, you're a miner?
Yes. I keep hoping a shaft will collapse on me, but somehow it never happens.
A real
Does
home?
anyone in a city like this?
Shirpai is wistfully looking around. It's not the nicest place, but I guess it'll have to do.
It doesn't have to do anything at all. Nothing does. Like me. Right now, I'm doing nothing at all.
Cool. I have other questions.
Shoot, Piggy.
Okay.
It's what you do, isn't it?
Ha, I don't have a gun right now. So no. Do you have any idea what happened to the hangman's armor?
What do I care about some fucking tin eggshells?
Wait, don't you want to know how I knew to ask you?
Not particularly. I want to keep this as brief as possible, you see. I want to return to painting the world red.
But you just said you were literally doing nothing right now. I feel like you have time to talk. Piss and Fuck told me.
Fine. I don't care about those wannabe skulls, and I don't care about your armor.
The wannabe skulls are dear to her. The armor, less so. She doesn't want to sound surprised at anything you say.
Isn't armor art? Art for the body?
Oh, all right, Piggy. I'll give you this one. I saw a little girl in the fishing village running around with military-grade handwear. Looked cute as hell.
Could that girl have been little Lily? It's not a bad place to start.
I know a little girl in the village, a little Lily.
Could have been her. Small kid with giant white armored hands. If you've seen one of them, you've seen them all.
Catch you later, Cindy. So yeah, the gauntlets are pretty good. They're like the best of the armored pieces, if I remember correctly. They're basically like the rubber gloves plus. They're like interfacing plus 2. What do I need here? Probably empathy. Let's go ahead and put the empathy glasses on.
A weathered brown door. The number reads 20. Something smells good. Soup allongio. The lieutenant motions to you to go ahead and knock. This is the door. You already know it's the right door. This is going to be so hard.
Hold on, Kim. We should discuss before we move on. What should we expect?
You're right. Let's talk this through.
Looks at the apartment door and lowers his voice a bit.
You hear some light footsteps and what appears to be a daily weather forecast playing on the radio.
We have our first preliminary identification. In all likelihood, the deceased is the husband of Billy Méjean. We need to confirm this, as well as deliver the death notification to Billy herself. Now, delivering a death notification is never an easy task. There's a reason why it's often called the most stressful part of our job. This is why it's usually done in pairs. You got this. I'll be monitoring reactions, ready to act if necessary.
Do you have any advice on how to tell if tell her he's
dead? Just don't say that you know how they feel. You don't.
Good advice.
What if I want to do this?
Yes, it's hard.
Tough shit.
But there is no easy way to handle this information. It just has to happen. as soon as possible.
All right, let's go.
The lieutenant motions towards the door.
Hello? Who is it?
Voice calls out from the other side of the door.
And someone turns down the radio. He gives you a short, encouraging nod.
Is this Billy May John's home? This is the police. Please open the door.
The police? A moment, please give us a moment.
You hear shuffling inside.
Tidying up, nervously. There's fear in her voice.
Come in, the door is open.
All right, time to steal some stuff. An empty pack of Red Aster cigarettes hidden under the bed. Same brand of cigarettes you found in the trash next to the deceased. Windows covered in old newspaper clippings. Hello, detective. Hello, middle-aged woman. Some leftovers kept warm on the stovetop. Smells like buckwheat and onions here. Packages of humanitarian aid macaronis. Chalk-drawn height chart for children's growth over the years. Kids' room. Posters of contemporary pop stars adorn the walls. Clock is ticking away with an odd cheerfulness. Ticking makes you anxious. Rings hollow in the room. Cat clock. Meow. Textbook for high school mathematics, trigonometry mostly. Well, we got some XP and some money off that.
It's you from the book stand. Did you come to bring my cockatoo back?
She smiles nervously before the smile vanishes from her face.
I don't think I introduced myself properly. I'm Billy. Would you like something to drink? Tea? Lemonade? We're out of coffee.
The lieutenant has taken off his foggy glasses and is busy cleaning them in his handkerchief for now. You're on your own here. He must feel vulnerable without his glasses. Is this why he's letting you take the lead?
Thanks, but I'm alright.
Is this about Victor, my husband? Is he in some kind of trouble again? I can come pick him up in the station if that's what.
She stops, her eyes trying to read answers from your face.
Keep it together. You don't want your body language to tell her the news.
Sorry, I'm rambling. It's just that Victor often gets into all kinds of trouble. So, how can I help you?
Okay, so we're at 97% here, which is pretty good. So we've got +4 from Kim being present. Cool. +1 to identify the jacket, +1 to identify the library card, +1 kept composure. Not sure when I kept my composure because I'm pretty bad at that. We discussed things through with Kim. Okay, that's why I did that. Also, if there's an option, I generally take it. And +1 for his handkerchief. I don't really feel like looking for all of this stuff is really super useful. So let's just go for it.
You've done this before. Just keep your focus.
God, do I just say he's dead like that?
Yes. That's the most important thing. Use that word.
Okay. Ma'am, I'm very sorry to say, but your husband, Victor Mejan, was found dead on the Martinez boardwalk.
What did you say?
A great and terrible spike. The blood freezes in her veins.
Your husband, Victor Mejan, is dead. I'm very sorry for your loss, ma'am.
Oh.
She touches her neck, eyes pale like pearls in seawater.
Oh. But he was just...
She looks at the kitchen table where 2 cigarette butts are still in the tray.
But he was just here. Alive.
We understand this comes as a huge shock. I want you to know that me and my partner are here for you if you have any questions. Take your time, ma'am.
What happened to him?
Still early to say, but at first glance it seems like he slipped in his head. It was an accident. He fell through a hole in the boardwalk and hit his head.
Was he drunk?
Alcohol may have played a role yet. We don't know, but we'll let you know when the results arrive. Yes.
I see. And you just found him there, lying in the cold. How long had he been there?
If you say 2 days maybe, it will be etched in her mind forever.
It's hard to say at this point. It couldn't have been that long. 2 days maybe. I'm going to say we don't have that information yet.
She blinks, eyes welling up with tears, as her hand starts searching for something from the pockets of her dress. The handkerchief.
Here, take this. Give her the lieutenant's handkerchief. No words, just give her the lieutenant's handkerchief. Don't give her the handkerchief, it's too special. No.
Yes, thank you.
She smiles a small, terrified smile, then wipes her tears. She looks disoriented.
Is there anyone we could call for you? A friend, a family member, someone who could be here for you?
No. I just need to tell my girls.
The air gets sucked out of her lungs suddenly.
It burns like acid.
God, should I call them? Should I tell them to come home?
No. A day.
No, take a day to recover. You'll be better prepared when they come home tomorrow.
Good. That's probably the right thing.
Empathy is being super helpful right now. She nods, but with a wretched expression.
She can't take much more. Her stomach is churning. Soon, she will have to go to the bathroom and scream.
Does volumetric shit compressor automatically pass all endurance? Just white checks, okay.
Just tell me, what do I need to do next? Where is he? Can I see him?
We've taken him to the city morgue. The local coroner will be contacting you shortly to arrange the funeral. Here's his number in case you want to contact him earlier.
He hands her a leaflet with the morgue's contact information.
Is there anything else that the RCM could do for you?
No, I'll call you if something comes up. I'm still...
She rubs her face, runs her fingers over her cheeks that have become numb.
Thank you. Thank you for telling me. I'll call if...
She runs out of breath.
These are her last reserves of strength. Her muscles will give in soon. Already, she starts to shake.
Again, I'm very sorry, ma'am.
We should step outside and talk.
It's at the library card buyer. Leave the room. Oh, not there.
You did well.
What now? I could have done more. Great, the case is closed.
I'll call the station when we're finished with the day, and let them know the name of the deceased.
What about Billy and her kids?
They'll manage.
They have to. It's not your place to live their lives.
True.
That's it. We should get back to our case now that our duty here is done.
Right, this case is closed then.
Let's go.
Okay, so we need to go talk to Lily to get the gloves back. We should also find the Sunday friend. I'm not gonna tell Morel about the traps just yet. Yeah, we'll wait on that till at least tomorrow. I don't want him to suddenly vanish on me.
This door is made of metal.
Okay, let's go ahead on... You know who I haven't talked to in a while? Good Wes. Yeah, I'm gonna go back to the fishing village. Talk to Lily. And then maybe start with the speed freaks.
Trying to sneak up on me again? Trying to snuff me out? Get away, pig!
Okay. Good talk. Kuno Wes. Okay, so we need to get to the town square, and then we can quick travel. All right, Lily. Let's have a little chat.
Hello, mister.
Heard there's a girl here who has armored gloves. Is that you?
Oh, I had gloves. Very big ones. Heavy, too.
Where did you get these gloves?
Found them when Lemmy and I were playing hide and seek. In an empty house. Where no one lives. I think someone hid them there.
She doesn't want you to think she stole them.
Where are the gloves now?
I hid them. The twins were gonna take them. They're stupid.
She lifts her stuffed toy up and looks into its one remaining eye as though searching for confirmation.
We are going to need those gloves. It's for important police business.
He enunciates the last two words carefully.
Oh.
She doesn't seem to understand, but the lieutenant's tone has conveyed to her the important part.
They're in my sandcastle. Behind our house. Under the sand. You can break the castle. It's not very good.
Goodbye.
Bye!
The girl's large, curious eyes remain fixed on you. I wonder if the sandcastle was always there and I was just didn't notice it because it wasn't relevant.
Weather has not been kind to Lily's little sandcastle. The once mighty towers are quickly eroding away. You can see something shining back to you from what must have been a vast underground catacomb network.
Broken.
The little castle? The reigning lord must have come upon some really tough times to let it sleep in such decrepitude.
Reaching the catacombs, pull out the shiny object.
Walls and floors give way to the giant's greed, collapse and present you with a pair of ceramic gauntlets.
Congratulations. That's the gauntlets down then. We're doing good on the armor collection front.
Yeah, I got 3 pieces. Yeah, we now have gauntlets. It's +2 interfacing. It's better than the gardening gloves, so let's go and equip them. Boom.
As you fold your fingers into a fist, you realize you could knock
One
anyone
punch!
out with one punch. The white ceramic gloves wrap around your digits comfortably. Your movements cause tiny little clicks, like dice rolling somewhere far away.
I may
as
need
the
this
plates
one.
reorient
We'll see.
to your motions.
I'll be responsible with this. This is just to protect me from harm, not to show off. Decked out in future armor, like a cop ought to be.
The hardened vitreous enamel, at once sleek and light, adds a glow to your cheeks and a spring to your step. Just imagine what a full suit of this stuff could do for you. You really do feel more confident. Invulnerability does that. Even partial invulnerability.
Yeah, I want the full suit. This gear could line my pockets with cash. I could probably sell it to some other cops. This is a long sought after enemy technology. I can't just enjoy it, I must study it.
It may be a while before you have all the pieces. In the meantime, you should analyze the armor. Figure out its vulnerabilities.
Vulnerabilities?
Remember, this is a highly specialized kinetic redistributor meant to stop bullets. Wear it. Observe its properties. See if there's a weakness in the design. For the day you have to fight someone covered in the same material.
Like one fight in the entire game. Anyway, that's not true. Sometimes you punch Kuno in the face. So Fairweather T500 is very niche. It basically, it gives you +2 hand-eye coordination against foes and body armor. Again, there's like one interaction where that matters. But it matters kind of a lot. So it may be worth it. Kind of depends on what my hand-eye coordination looks like at the time. Which is not great. There you go. Whoa, holy light, negative light. Anyway, Fairweather T500. It really hurts to punch this armor. The sword wouldn't leave a scratch. A bullet would bounce right off. Still, there must be some flaw that would allow you to stand your ground against this dangerous enemy technology. Just have to figure out what it is. Possibly like beating yourself while wearing it, shooting yourself. Let's see. Not yet. Okay, we're looking for the Sunday friend somewhere. Let's start with that. He's wandering around the ruins on this side of the map. Okay. Yeah, I did that to myself. Put myself in a dead end. No prank calls right now either. We can save that for some other time.
There's some tear.
There's Trant.
A row of ghostly shades facing a crumbling wall, with another 7 shades standing 10 meters from them. A single person stands on the sideline. A cold...
Oh, there he is. I can get to him.
As you approach, the man turns and greets you with a polite wave.
Oh boy, I look forward to not being able to talk to this man again.
He appears completely at ease, like a common...
Rather, he talks, but he does not answer any questions. He just sort of says things.
Ah, super. It's the officer. I was not expecting to run into you again, but things have a funny way of turning out, no? What brings you down to the scenic Martinez coast?
Actually, I was wondering what you're doing out here. I need your help forming a committee. I'm trying to assign la responsabilité. Thank you for your time.
Well, that's très simple. I was visiting the fishing village just north of here. They have applied for a series of microloans to revitalize the old market. And, well, I wish to see the situation firsthand. And then, well, I had some extra time on my hands, so I decided to stroll down here. It's quite peaceful, isn't it?
Yeah, it's lovely. Not quite my scene. You know, there's a max execution right over there. See those bullet holes in the wall over there? So there was something else I wanted to talk about.
Really? Here? How can you be sure?
It's a sort of gift I have. I can reconstruct things that have happened in the past. High-end detective stuff.
Ah, a very useful gift for a
He's
police
actually,
detective,
like,
I'm sure.
answering my questions and, like, interacting with me.
Fascinating how much history is contained right here. If only one knows where to look for it.
You feel like there's something you could say here, if
Damn.
only you really knew what was going on.
Rip. Am I negative on rhetoric right now? The answer is yep. Sure am. Lawjaw. Wow, that is not very much bonus from these thoughts. Actually, there's something else I wanted to talk to you about.
I'm all ears, officer.
Good job forming, yeah.
My friend, if it's la responsabilité you're after, I have good news for you. There's no need to form such a committee, because it already exists.
Tell me more.
The Comité de Responsabilité de Revachol. It acts as a sort of clearinghouse for coalition activities. To put it simply, they are the ultimate arbiters of la responsabilité in this part of the world.
Yes, this is just the sort of reasonable authority you're looking for.
I would offer to connect you with the committee myself, but alas, I am not actually in Martinez.
What? Where is he then?
What are you talking about? I'm looking right at you now. Are you a hologram?
Of course, we are speaking informally, but officially, I am still in La Delta, preparing for an upcoming conference on fuel oil derivatives. That's why it would be extremely irregular, or potentially even inappropriate for me to intercede with the committee concerning a district I'm not officially in.
This is an urgent matter. I need to get in touch with the committee. How am I supposed to contact the committee then? Are you saying I should just give up?
Well, under ordinary circumstances, the committee contacts you. But if you have information of a vital interest, they might be willing to entertain an exception. In which case, I would advise you to contact them via Coalition Warship Archer.
Okay, just call the battleship, lol. Why do I need to go through Archer to speak to the committee? How does one go about contacting a coalition warship?
You see, in addition to being an airborne artillery platform, Coalition Warship Archer is also the linchpin of the Coalition's surveillance and communications infrastructure.
Oh, speaking of airborne artillery platforms, so I've kind of been thinking of like games to play in the future, like near-ish future, next couple months. I think I'm gonna get back into Final Fantasy. So I played like Final Fantasies 3 through 10-2 plus Tactics a few years ago, and I also have 12 and 13. So it's like, why haven't I played those yet? And I've kind of been rolling around playing 12 for a long time. 13 is just kind of whatever. But yeah, I should replay those games. So yeah, I just picked up. So yeah, the airborne artillery platform is specifically Final Fantasy 12. It has airborne artillery platforms. So yeah, I got Final Fantasy 12 Zodiac Age today, and that I'll be playing that sometime. Again, probably in April. Once we finish Metal Gear Solid 4, things are going to get a little weird for a little bit, and then we'll get to, like, playthroughs again in April. So, yeah, anyway. Moving on. Wait, it's watching us too?
And listening. It has the most objective vantage point in the entire city. Not to mention a vast array of radio, photographic, and meteorological monitoring instruments. I find it a great comfort to know there are benevolent powers watching over all, in strict accordance with the Wayfarer Act and the Bristol-Mune Convention.
Sure. So how does one go about contacting a warship?
This is quite the problem.
Sunday.
Very tricky. Of course, the Archer has orders to fire on any unidentified aerostatics that might approach it, so it might be safer to get in touch from the ground. But in that case, you would require a radio transmitter capable of broadcasting on coalition frequencies. And that kind of technology naturally isn't typically available for non-coalition use. Yes, it is a bit of a conundrum. I suppose there might be some way to circuit bend your way onto those frequencies, but you'd have to be one of those techno-tinkerers to do it.
I'm trying to think. Tinkerers. Who do we know who tinkers? Fat Angus. I don't think he'd help me though. Could be someone like Neha. Or Watsuna. Know of any of these tinkerers?
Unfortunately not, no. I don't have the pleasure. I am merely a representative of the coalition government, not very well versed in technology. But you...
Ah, good. Techno-tinkerers. Just what this side task was.
Hackers. Gotta hack into a warship.
Let me just say that I have complete confidence in the RCM. I'm sure you'll figure something out.
Thank you for your time.
Always my pleasure to be of assistance to the RCM. Godspeed. And if we don't meet again, bonne chance.
Thanks for the luck. Find someone with technical expertise to contact the coalition. Honestly, the Noid might be able to help me with that. It's not the Noid. That's from the Pizza Hut monster. Noid. Well, we have some thoughts.
Hello again.
Okay, bye. Okay, I guess it's time to start with the Speed Freaks. I'm gonna go ahead and equip my Sunday Finest Encyclopedia clothes. So I really want to get the Linear Contact mic. Encyclopedia. Nausea-inducing hell glasses. Oh god, is that it? I mean, I have 8 encyclopedia now. That should be good enough. School of fish huddle around the fence post and scatter into the dark. Oh yeah, the bridge is down. Hold on. Before you draw a bridge, it can only be lowered from the other side. It's must have taken a lot of patience to do this. Painted with pastel, someone's trying to bring cheer to the world.
A pane of Eternite has been planted into the snow. 2 poles are holding it up. Barely holding it up. It could fall over any minute. A stronger gust of wind might be enough.
What is this?
It looks like a makeshift bridge. Could be convenient.
The pane falls into the icy snow with a soft thunk.
We should ask that girl on the ice what's going on here.
Lieutenant gestures toward the young woman next to the tent. More tribalistic markings. This post is covered in little humanoids. Hole screwed in the ice keeps the tent erect. Trash from some unending party. Someone's home away from home just like yours.
A shaggy-looking girl in her late teens or early 20s kneels on the ice with an electronic contraption in her hand. Hearing you approach, she looks up.
Oh. Hello there.
Hi.
It's cold out here, but she's not wearing a hat. She must be freezing. Everyone knows drugs make you invulnerable to cold. You bet this one likes to party.
Dear child, where's your hat?
Huh?
She looks up at you, distracted. I said you should have a hat on.
So should you.
I'm wearing a hat.
You don't have to do anything.
I should, and I do. Point at your hat.
Oh. I didn't notice
It's
that.
pretty big. It's nice. You should wear one too if you plan on staying outside in this weather.
Yeah, well... Look, man. Fuck the hat.
Your pulse rises.
Is that kind of language really necessary?
I'm sorry I said fuck the hat. I was concentrating on something else.
I'm gonna try and get around doing this red check.
My whole family swears
Okay, good.
and it rubbed off on me.
There's a pained expression on her face. She'll answer your questions now. What's your name?
A cell.
Her hair is dyed blonde, with dark roots showing. There's a coarseness to her features, some masculinity below that timidness.
And your surname?
Why?
For the police, it's for the paperwork.
Okay, it's Burger.
What's that device you got there?
This is a portable recording device. It's for field recording. Low quality, but still.
And the wires?
Actually, just one wire. I picked on it till the braiding came loose. The wire leads to a contact microphone.
What's a contact microphone?
A contact mic records sounds from inside things, like this ice.
Your mangled brain would like you to know there is a boxer called Contact Mike.
Yeah, any news on my wife's name? How about my mother?
No.
Cool.
You're welcome.
Does this have anything to do with Contact Mike?
Yeah, I record stuff with it.
No, I mean the boxer, Contact Mike.
No. This is a contact microphone. It's for recording inside solid objects. Contact mic just beats people up.
That's not fair. And an understatement.
You know, Contact Mike doesn't just beat people up. Contact Mike is a role model. You heard right. You should try to be more like Contact Mike, a successful athlete and inspirational figure who has overcome social, physical, and mental obstacles. And second thought, screw Contact Mike. He's not a champion. You are. Look at you in front of a saggy tent, picking your nose to a drug addict music. The world of sports is in awe of your faith and dedication. Sorry, I didn't know why I said that. There's something else I wanted to know. No! We want to know about Contact Mike.
Man, you are one weird cop.
This isn't about me. This is about your lack of respect for one of boxing's greats and for yourself. Say just about normal. Now about that Mike, not Mike. Mike.
What is it with you and this Mike guy?
She pauses. The question is rhetorical.
Okay.
Not anymore.
If it floats your boat, I'll be more like Contact Mike and less like me.
Yes, that does float my boat. Self-respect is not meant to float any boats but your own.
I'll keep that in mind for future use.
Okay, we're learning the litany of Contact Mike because, of course, this one's been... Oh my god, -3 stats. Holy shit. Okay. Minus logic, minus conceptualization, minus drama. It's only 15 minutes, which means it's probably not going to be very good. But that's okay. I want to know more about Contact Mike. It's time once again to return to the 20 things you like to say about Contact Mike, the boxer who is apparently a paragon of open competition. Doesn't really get... I'm dying anyway. It doesn't get any better than this. Any better, both inside and outside the ring. Stop, point at someone. Someone in the distance. Point your finger at him. He will point his finger back at you, vaulting an impossible gulf of finance and privilege too. How's it work?
The mic? I don't exactly know. Somehow it doesn't pick up vibrations from the air. The book said it only picks up structure-borne sound, if you like technobabble.
Ooh, tell me, wait, technobabble? Does that mean that you're a techno cracker or whatever the hell I'm looking for? Where'd you get the mic from?
Same place I got the recorder from, the Elysium.
What's that?
Oh man, you haven't been to the Elysium? It's the coolest place in this whole drug-addled shithole. It's a music club and a synthesizer workshop on Boogie Street in Jamrock. Musicians live there, like real musicians. I once saw Arno van Eyck.
Thinking about it really cheers her up. It's a long way from here, though.
Oof, logic and drama are hurting right now. Sounds interesting. Who's this Arno guy?
Oh yeah, guess you wouldn't know Van Eyck. Or really be a Elysium going kind of person.
I get down on second thought. Let's go back to the Contact Mike.
I don't know what that means.
I grind.
I don't know what that means either.
It means I'm hit beyond my years, nor do I. But I have concrete evidence that I rock in the form of wrecked tape player and completely trashed hostel room.
That's cool.
She breathes on her fingers. Looks like she doesn't know what to say. You're right, time has deserted me.
Sucks, man.
Oops.
Was there something else? About the Contact Mike, perhaps?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Wait, no.
Sure. Contact Mike. The mic? Okay.
What are you doing out here in the cold?
Recording, I guess.
And what are you recording?
I think I'm recording cracks in the ice. But there's no way to tell. Not without headphones. I think I just recorded your footsteps too. Not sure how that will sound.
She scratches her forehead. Wait, what happened to the headphones? What are the recordings for? The cracks and the footsteps?
My boyfriend sold them.
What for? Meth?
I don't know, man. Things. Just stuff you need for life.
Everything checks out, sire.
God damn it. Fuck. What are the recordings for? The cracks in the
The
footsteps.
musicians in the Palaceum used them for making music. They looped the stuff, cutting the tapes together. They make music out of cracks in the ice and keys jangling. Crazy sounds like that. It's hard to explain.
Just nod.
Anyway, I thought I'd make some too. It's supposed to be, like, a music place anyway.
She rubs her shoulders and looks around.
I don't really know what I'm doing. They use synthesizers too. I don't have a synthesizer.
She looks at the recording device, the thing she thought would fill her hours with joy and escape. It's turning out to be an empty fantasy. She feels childish, very useless all of a sudden.
Take this, your call.
Lieutenant begins to take off his jacket.
No, man, fuck that, I'm cool. I'm sorry I said that. I'm sorry about the fuck.
It's okay.
Lieutenant backs up. He throws you a glance. Now this is where a hat would come in handy. Give her your hat. Here, you need this more than I do.
Yeah, maybe you were right about the hat.
I don't know how good this hat is. Probably good. Yeah, no, you can't have my hat. Said it's supposed to be a music place. What is...
The boys think it could be a place, like the Palaceum or something. Stupid. It's really not going to be a Palaceum, that's for sure.
The boys?
Yeah. Andre and the guys, they're inside, in the tent.
And why is that?
Why are you freezing out here while the boys are inside? Time to get that feminism rolling here.
They got too much stuff crammed in there. No room.
Stuff like what?
Music stuff, mostly. Like this tape recorder, but bigger. And there's piles of it.
Why not leave some of it outside, so you don't have to freeze?
That stuff is more expensive than I am. More expensive than any of us, really. Doesn't matter. I can take the cold.
It's probably amphetamine. It makes you feel impervious to the elements, but doesn't actually make you any less cold.
Why? Why can you take it?
I've got my recordings to do. I feel better outside. Thanks.
I lost my hat! Oh well.
Go ahead. It's supposed to become, like, a club for anodic dance music, like that new style of synthesizer stuff they play at the Palaceum. Except that, yeah.
She looks at the old wooden church up on the poles. As a mean wind comes bellowing in, the 6-story structure lets out a doleful shriek.
The floorboards are twisting, and the shooting beams are slowly cracking, like bones. Far east of the Golden Delta, beyond the industrial port, there is a black patch of unlit coast with the smallest creatures on the ice. There will never be a club for anodic music here. Not in a million years.
I'll be back.
Go ahead. Okay.
The litany of contact Mike. 5,000 to 1 rank outsider. No one saw it coming. The mantle of a game changer demands intangible qualities. Fights are not won. You're thinking instead of doing detective work right now. Fights are made, blow by blow. Let's take it, Mike to the Mikey. Some low-intensity part of you has entered a sports cliché-driven fugue state, and it's not necessarily a bad thing. Also, Mike knew what it took to win. He just wanted it more.
All physique white checks unlocked. Okay. Like I said, this one's was not going to be very good. All right. Alright. I don't even know if I had any locked physique white checks, to be honest. So yeah, I'm basically immediately going to drop this one because... Well, hold on. Hold on. Oh, I guess the pain threshold one from the man from Helmdall is probably worthwhile. Don't need that, don't need that, don't need that. Not gonna do that one. Ah, shit, I guess I should probably hold it until then. Fuck. Alright. Barred door I might need as well. Okay. I probably don't need barred door, to be honest. The only one that I'm kind of worried about is the ice cream maker. It's a physical instrument check. It's probably going to take a couple shots to do. So, yeah. Everything else is, I don't care. Maybe the man from Helmdall. I'm going to go do that one right now. It's pain threshold, which... Do I have a bonus on pain threshold? I do have a bonus on pain threshold. Also, let's put that froggy visor back on and take those glasses off. Actually, do I have any pain threshold stuff? Yes. Full of holes. Could posts hide treasure? Oh, yeah, they all have treasure. Shit. Hey. I'm actually gonna look up and let me contact Mike. Boop. Yeah, not sure this actually did anything, but... Oops. I guess if I get in here and the check is not unlocked, I'll be like, well, that did nothing.
The display rack is
It did nothing.
worn
All right.
paperbacks featuring an extremely muscular, sword-wielding barbarian on the cover. Nearly all the titles contain the...
So two things. One is I'm here. Let's go ahead and dump a point into pain threshold. And also we're going to drop that linear contact mic. Okay, what else have we not gotten? Homosexual Underground is really long. Have I gotten that one? No. Might be worth it. Whoops. Could try for Wumpty Dumpty Dom Center. That's another short one. It's a minus suggestion, which, okay, whatever. Homosexual Underground is no downside. I'm kind of curious about Wumpty Dumpty Dom Center. We could always dump it, too. back to the church. What here's new? Huh, okay. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and equip my normal stuff back. I'm dumb, hold on. And I was gonna do that white check. For the $1 man.
The display rack is brimming with worn paperbacks featuring an extremely muscular, sword-wielding barbarian on the cover. Nearly all the titles contain the word Hyundai somewhere. A twinge at the back of your head makes you flinch. Your eye starts twitching.
Ow.
Your hand reaches toward a book with glossy cover art of the very muscular man from Hyundai in chains, kneeling in front of a staircase leading to a throne. A woman sits on the throne, leering at the man. She's laughing at him, belittling him. Between the throne and the Hyundai man lies a bonfire, casting shadows on the wall. The shadow of the woman's headdress looks like a pair of devil horns. The title reads, Man from Hyundai and the Devil Woman.
Aren't all women devil women?
Especially those leering types who seem to wear nothing but an armored bikini. There's also some sort of a snake lizard beast slithering around her abdomen, chest, shoulder region. It's symbolic of vice and sin. The display rack before you is burdened under piles of Man from Hyundai novels.
I want to buy The Man from Hyundai and the Devil Woman.
It is a bestseller for a reason.
Alright, let's go talk to Estelle again. Finish up that conversation. That's not the right spot. Whatever, close enough. Who needs authority? Not me. Oh hey, look, a pile of money that I skipped over. Nice.
Hello again.
Hello. Tape recorder lies on the ice like a discarded toy. Pick it up. Okay, we can do the empathy check too.
It's supposed to become, except that.
The floorboards are twisted. There will never, not in a million years.
What is anodic dance music?
You know, anodic, cathodic, music that's made with electronic instruments.
Electronic instruments like what?
Synthesizers and tape consoles. Microcomputers too. Anything that uses electricity, but isn't guitars. Also found sounds, stuff like that.
You see clear, beautiful, violent flashes of light. Light cutting through a smoke-filled darkness. That is what the future will look like, if it ever comes.
Anodic music. Now I'm gonna find out what it is. What is it?
You know, anodic, cathodic, synthesis.
You see clear.
I know. It's not my idea. Andre and the boys found the place. It was supposed to be deserted, but now they can't even take it. Hey, don't get me wrong, but you're cops, right?
Yeah, why do you ask?
Okay, well, maybe you could talk to Andre and the guys, because there are some strange things going on in that church. If you're police, you should look into it, right?
I'll talk to them. We'll see. I prefer to remain non-committal. I have enough on my plate as it is.
They're inside that thing there. Would be cool if you did. Was there something else? Go ahead.
I'm gonna come back for that in a sec. Let's go ahead and...
again.
The device is still warm from her touch and heavy as a brick from
Wow,
the batteries
okay.
inside. The
Well, I
company
rolled like an
logo,
11, didn't I?
Omicron.
I rolled a 12,
adorns
okay.
its yellow plastic cover. Inside, the tape is rolling. The girl looks at the device in your hands.
So I have to sit here on the ice feeling miserable at your age or at any age in this weather waiting for it to get dark.
She looks you in the eye, her pupils wide, surrounded by a ridiculous amount of makeup.
The people who built this world intended it to be better for you, but they failed. It's easier to live in their failure than with this by your side. Tap the tape recorder.
The wind howls. She remains silent.
Wait, am I about to have a breakdown here?
It's real. Tell her.
It's not a childish fantasy. It can be a real weapon against what's coming for you now.
What is?
The dark. Nothing. If you got this, don't be scared. Let's get reminded of how... Okay. Let's get reminded of how Contact Mike rose from the slums of St. Baptiste to the top of the boxing world, overcoming adversity and serious brain trauma. Nothing is coming. Nothing he wouldn't knocked out in 3 rounds. The real fight is for the right attitude.
I can't believe this turned into another Mike thing. Fine. Okay, I'll stick to it. I'll knock it out in 3 rounds.
Yeah, there you go.
So thanks, I guess, for the psych session. Maybe I can return it. What's been eating you, officer?
He said eating me. There's nothing eating me. Everything's eating me. Hold on.
Come on, I can tell. But, okay. Be a boyadero about it if you want to.
I guess there's something that's been making my life hell. Exactly. I don't want to talk about it.
What is it?
Supply to the working class. Everyone's just mooching off the entrepreneurial class, shackling the doers. I think it's all these foreign people taking our jobs. People just keep putting their selfish interests instead of the greater good. Give me that morale.
Really?
Yeah, no one understands that sometimes you got to make sacrifices for the sake of progress. It's all very distressing.
So, the thing that's been eating you is the slow pace of social progress.
Don't get me wrong, I'm all for slow and steady progress. Those people be a little more reasonable is all. No, that's probably not it, is it? Yeah, pretty sure. Now I had some questions about something else entirely.
Okay. So you're not that upset, it sounds like.
I told you I'm highly distressed by the state of affairs.
And you're sure it's social progress you're distressed about?
Uh-oh, time to take a bunch of
I dunno,
damage.
some chick.
Perhaps.
Now that you mentioned it, I found these letters I'd thrown in the trash. They might have something to do with it.
Okay. Why'd you think that?
First they had the faintest scent of chewing gum on them. I could still smell it under the shit. They were written in a woman's hand, and boy, did reading them make me feel not good. Dealt with these questions. I had them. You have answers.
There you have it then. Chick trouble. Not political after all. Who was she?
I don't remember.
Really? You seem to be pretty upset about this chica. Are you sure you don't remember anything about her?
I remember her scent, and that's all.
Wow, man. That's some pretty strange shit. Are you sure the letters were for you?
Yeah, I'm sure. Why would I have reacted so strongly otherwise? Come to think of it, the whore could have been written them to her lover.
How come you don't remember, though? Is it like some selective memory thing?
Wait, what do you mean by selective memory? I think it's more about getting so unbelievably drunk I completely erased all memory of this world. You might have a point there, selective memory.
Man, when I get hurt, I just want to forget that shit, you know? That kind of selective memory. Yeah, or it might be that. This one time I did so much booze that I forgot too.
Yeah, booze, that's it.
It's obvious she's done more than booze.
Yes.
Or it might just be some psych bullshit, you know? Königstein wank.
What's this Königstein wank?
You know, the psych thing they've got going on there. Rich people like it. People in Königstein are mostly rich.
Thanks for the bullshit psych thing then. You know, I'm not sure this made things any better. Alright, had some things.
You're welcome. Might be for the best to keep that shit forgotten though. Just my opinion. If it itches, don't scratch.
Yes, but it itches really, really bad.
Oh yeah, my pain threshold's really high right now, isn't it? No. But it's high enough that I'm gonna be... God, that's an easy, never mind. I don't know that I had that conversation with her before. Cool. Alright, well, we finished a cell. We'll talk to the dudes on Thursday, because it's getting kind of late. I'm going to go ahead and call it here. So yeah, Disco Thursday. That's the next stream. Obviously on Thursday. And again, we're going to be getting back to Metal Gear Solid 4 over the weekend. Yeah, so anyway, until then, thanks for hanging out, everybody. Appreciate you all hanging out. Have a good rest of your night, and catch you next time.